make sure it's like actually recording. The No Rain Checks interview.
Oh, yeah, you heard about that?
Yeah. I watched it.
Yeah, we did an entire episode and nothing happened.
Oh,
so we're good. It's recording. Everything's good.
Sweet. That's awesome.
You're making me look like a monster on camera.
Yeah, right. I was gonna actually suggest that I sit in this chair and then we get like a weird view type thing going on, so it looks like we're the same height.
We'll just turn this up here. Oh my god.
Yeah, and then the camera just goes falling off the table. And
right, we'll keep all that. That's funny. Okay. Yeah, so this is Interviews with Everyday People. This is Monster Man sitting here with Billy Trey. Yeah, you're so little on mic.
Yeah,
on
no,
Look at that.
It's a great thing. I actually appreciate it, like the height thing, and so like anytime that I shave, people think I'm way younger than I am. Mm-hmm. So like at my job, when I'm working there, they'll always think it's my first day.
Really?
Yeah, like I literally had a guy call in the one day. I don't want to like say what my job is, but I work at a game store. Okay. And so if you liked games, you would stop there. Yeah. So basically, what happened is one time a dude called in and was like, "Can I talk to your manager?" I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, sure." And I handed it to my manager at the time, and he was like, "Yes, how can I help you? Let me check up that game. Yeah, the price is $20. Okay, have a great night." And then he hung up and he was like, "Why the fuck couldn't you do?" Like he's like, "Why didn't you take that call?" I'm like, he wanted a manager. Yeah. I don't know. Like it's so weird, but yeah.
I used to love going to that place, but I bought everything digitally, so
yes.
it turned only because I had a problem with like, oh, I really want to get this game and I'm impatient and I don't want to wait till payday, so I'll trade in 4 games to get it, and then I trade those 4 games and I'm like, why did I do that? Like I'm an idiot. Like so I like the digital sales, so like I like to just re-download it, play it, put it back.
I get you. Yeah, see, for me, like I like physical copies of anything pretty much. Like even if I buy a vinyl and never listen to it, just the fact that I own it, it's there, and like that's like that falls into like the music aspect of things, where like people can listen online to anything that a band puts out, and then. But what I like to do is if I'm listening to it, if I like it enough, I'm gonna buy it. Yeah. Like it's just like it's a weird respect thing in my mind, or not even 100%. Respect, but like just like I feel like I appreciate it, so I'm like, here's my money, support you. You're getting like $1 from this. Yeah. Like
there's not many people out there like that anymore. Like how people always say like we're planning the scoop stock, and the biggest thing right now is a lot of people are saying they don't want to go because it's in Andreas, and I was like, okay. But realistically, if it was in Pottsville, you probably still wouldn't go either. Yeah. Because people talk a big game like they want to support music, but how many shows are at Goodfellas every week and 30 people show up?
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. There's like there's a whole thing about like, what I've noticed is your friends are going to come see you, or family, or in my case, family and friends are going to come see you, and the biggest part is like finding a group that has the fans, so to speak, and just being able to be like, oh, you could be a fan of me too, or whatever, something like that. But like, it's so rare. It's so rare because those people come from different areas that aren't even this area, and it's like, it's shitty. Yeah. Because Trippin' Billy's was like the genuine place for genuine people, pretty much. And I was only there a couple times because I played there, but it was so cool to see all the people that went there, and I got to meet some of them. I would say meet. But I saw them dancing, and I was like, okay, this is cool. Like, I don't know how to explain
I remember when one of the last Trippin' shows, because I didn't jump on the Trippin' train until very late as well. Yeah. And the one show where they're like, Billy, come up and sing. And you're like, no, and I literally just picked you up.
Yeah, the Japan Force show.
And put you on stage. Yeah.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that was fun. I think I'm still weird like that. Like, I don't like to get on stage when there's another band playing. Like, my mom did it first. Like, her band was the first people to do that, because back in the day, they would play this Tantric song, and it sounded like it was like the same as the Hollywood Undead song, like Undead. So I would just come up at like 12 years old, and I'd be screaming. I'd be like, oh, God. Like, I don't know how to scream, but I'm like screaming in the mic. And there's like 10-year-olds that I know that are like, oh my God, it's so cool. And I'm like, yeah, roller roost. Like, but even now, I'm just, I don't know. I'm starting to embrace it more. Like, I like to go on stage and stuff, but
I think you do it right though. You don't put yourself up there. You wait for the permission or the request, then you go up, you do your thing, and then you go back and enjoy the show.
I just don't want to seem like there's a lot of people, and it's not just in the area, but there's like a lot of people that'll go out of their way to get on a stage with a band, and it's just like, oh, the vibe's not there.
Yeah.
It's not like, it's a weird experience for me, and so I'm just like, I guess so.
Well, you perceive, and this is not a bad thing at all, but you perceive the music and the music business industry and business, especially even the local scene, in a different aspect because of your upbringing.
Yeah.
You have a completely different, like, it's like someone who's like, most kids your age are even coming up in it, even people that are in bands now, you've maybe not have experienced it, but you've been around it. You have a little bit of a, like, your Thanksgiving and Christmas dinners are sitting around probably talking music and shows. And,
yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean?
It's like that's like a genuine. I'm saying genuine a lot. I'm noticing it. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna try to stop.
Don't critique yourself. Just let it happen.
It's a real thing. It's weird too because it's just like. My grandfather would be so like, how was your week or weekend or whatever? And I'll tell him what bands I saw or something like that. And he'll be like, the next day there'll be a post about what bands I saw and like a song and stuff like that. And I don't know, I like it. It's also feels like there's a weird standard to live up to within that sort of family. It's like so tight knit.
There is, but I think that the way that your family has put itself out there as very humble, genuine, and very supportive of one another when it comes to music, that if you were to come up from a family of like, this is not this at all, or I'm just putting this as an example, like where maybe someone's like, oh, we know we're good and we're kind of like snobs about it, but that's not how the Collins are at all. Like everyone's like super supportive of one another, you know what I mean? And so I think when like now you coming out, I think more people are embracing you because of you carry that same demeanor as everybody else in your family, and people are like, oh man, he's cool as hell. And you know what I mean? Like I mean, I
try to be cool.
Yeah.
I wasn't cool in high school or anything like that. You see what I did there? I didn't go to high school. I was actually like cyber schooled through high school. Yeah. So you seem to have like a really good you had like a really good school thing like going on. You like compliment your school a little bit, or at least like teachers from your school. And for as me is like I had like 2 cool teachers, and like everything else was just kind of shit. And like and it's just like I don't know. I don't want to bash my school. It could be way different now.
Listen, I can definitely say a lot more negativity about my school and some of the people I went to school with.
I'd rather focus on like the good thing.
That's what I do. Like I'll be honest, like I was picked on. I was bullied. I was beat up. Kindergarten, middle school, and then kind of coming into high school, it stopped because I just stopped taking it and I stopped caring. Like when I was younger, I'd like, oh my god, like I would like show emotion, and then the bullies really fed on that. Like I mean, I can go into horror stories, but it's just not good to dwell on it.
No,
I have I do have other like younger people who do listen to this, and they go through it right now, and I try to tell them like, hey, listen, like everyone's gone through it.
Yeah,
like,
literally every person.
And once you get out of it, it goes away.
Yeah.
Like there's kids who were some of the biggest bullies to me growing up now. Then they see me out and they have a full conversation about me and they compliment me what I'm doing and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's like the best thing too, is that like not letting it get to you, and then years later they're like, hey, you're kind of cool.
Yeah.
Or like the chick from middle school that was like totally not into you or your friend group, and they're like, oh, you're so weird, and then like years later they're like, oh, you're kind of hot. Like,
yeah, you're a cutie. Guitar. Why did we talk then? Oh, 'cause you were saying I was ugly. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, shit.
Got it.
So when I was younger, I was a way bigger kid. I don't know if you've ever seen any pictures or anything, because my family shares stuff, but like I don't know if that stuff ever pops up, but like I was like it looks like I ate myself now back then. Like I was just I mean chubby could be the word. I don't know. I was just big, like, and I think the funniest thing is like I loved SNL and like sketch comedy groups, so like I'll be like 9 watching The Whitest Kid You Know. Yeah. Like, oh, he's hammering my butt. Yeah. Like it's just but so I really liked Chris Farley, and it was a weird thing because when I was a kid, I would pretty much just do anything to make people laugh. Yeah. I don't know, I enjoyed that, but I also at the same time was like a really shitty like I I was a terrible child. Like, I got into so much trouble with my parents, and not, like, the police or anything, but, like, I think I snuck out one time and stuff to go play video games at a friend's house, and then the next morning I texted my mom. I was like, hey, this person's taking me to school. Okay, bye, love you. I didn't sneak out. I just came here in the morning when I woke up.
Yeah.
And she was like, I'm going to kill you. Like, no, she never said that. My mom was always really awesome about, like, everything. So, like, the way that I was raised pretty much was, like, if you get in trouble, like, it's on you. You know, she grounded me, but she grounded me for, like, an hour because I was, like, her kid. Mm-hmm. Like, there's a time where we grew up, because I don't want to go, like, too into it, but, like, my parents split up when I was younger. I don't know, and I don't entirely remember it because I was just young.
Yeah, you were young.
I wasn't focused on that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was focused on playing video games and listening to music.
Yeah.
And I was like, I definitely had a favoritism thing where I was like, if you buy me this, I'll love you more than more. Yeah. Like there was like that was definitely a thing as a kid. I see it all the time now too, and I'm like, I see it in my brother sometimes now with like my stepdad and my mom, and I'm just like, oh, you're such a dick. But you're only 6. He's 6 now. He just turned 6, and man, I'm swearing way too much because he's probably gonna watch this, and I'm gonna be like, man,
don't say bad words.
Yeah, don't say bad words.
Yeah,
I can do it because I'm an idiot, but you're smarter than me. Like, but no, I definitely remember like growing up, and I grew up with my mom, and so we lived like with my grandparents for a little bit because we moved out. Stuff happened, and like. I don't know, my mom was like my best friend for my whole life pretty much, and sometimes it feels like I don't show how much I love her, but I do tell her I love her when I see her, because it's like, I don't know, it's not every time. You say I love you to someone all the time, it's just like, it's just a word, yeah, and so I prefer to be a very like real person, and like
that's why when people are like, "Oh, Tony," like so my wife yells at me. She goes, "Can you like stop hugging everyone you meet?" Like that's my way of showing like if I give a shit about you or I think you're a cool person, I'm a hugger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's not just like I'm not trying to be creepy or like I just if you're someone that's in my circle. And I give a shit about you, I'm gonna hug you when I see it. That's just how I am. Like, yeah. So I won't say I love you as much.
Nah. Yeah.
I mean I do. Like there's some people, there's some friends out there. Like when other people see like, did you say I love you to him? Like,
yeah.
So to a guy, I'm like, hell yeah. I think Eddie. I say every time I see Eddie, I'm like, I love you, man.
Yeah,
like,
Eddie. He's
like Eddie, Steve Fulton. Yeah, there's certain people that I'll drop an I love you to because I genuinely mean it. Like like they're just good people. Like it's really. I don't want to say it's really hard to find good people because I've been really fortunate and blessed in this area. Like, you know, meeting Steve Fulton and Dave Cantwell, and I never really hung out in the Pottsville crowd. And then just meeting the Pottsville crowd and then it's like, and branching out and meet new people and finding this scene and meeting all these cool people, man. It's awesome, man. Everyone's really supportive of one another for the most part. I mean, I'm sure there's people out there that talk about other people, but I don't dwell on that either. And if you are, then that's your own problem.
I think it happens to everyone at some point in time where you just like, because I've totally done it before where I've been like, oh, that band, like, fuck that, like, what does that band matter? Like, it's just like not out to like, because I don't care what people think that I think.
Yeah.
As long as people are progressing in their own lives, like the way that I take negativity is like, if you're going to be negative towards me, if you don't like a song that I play, or if you can play a song better, then do it, and I'll support you in doing so, and like I'll help you and I'll teach you or whatever. Like I just don't think there's any point in trying to fight violence with violence or fire with fire. Like that just literally that entire saying is just, oh, let's throw more fire on this fucking fire, and then maybe it's going to put itself out. Like, what? No, that's not how that works.
I like the term, an eye for an eye, leave the world blind. Like, if you just, you know what I mean? It's just, you're not going to, the old me, I'll throw some fire on some stuff, or I'll throw some fists, but that's not who I am anymore. Just like, and I'm better for not being that person, but it's definitely cool. Now, how you were saying before, you're into video games and stuff. What are some of your faves?
Oh,
we're going to get nerdy real quick, people.
So... yeah, I'll just be like my favorite game of all time is Conker's Bad Fur Day, which is kind of weird and funny.
That's, like,
and
way past your time, too.
Yeah, well, not way past my time. It's like, if I was born 3 years before, it would have been the same time. So
you're 20.
Yeah.
Conker's Bad Fur Day.
It was like 96, right?
Around there.
Yeah.
It was N64.
Yeah.
So my brother's 20 as well.
Or maybe it did come out in 99.
He's 21.
Yeah.
Yeah, my brother's 21. I remember when he played N64, he was still in diapers.
Yeah. That's what I was doing. I think I was... The vivid memory that I have, and this could be my mind lying to me, is like me and my dad sitting together, and there was like a TV, and we're playing Conker's Bad Fur Day together. I don't know if that's a real thing, but like that's how I remember it. That could be a thing. I used to have like a fire truck or a race car bed? I think it was a race car bed. It was red. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. And this is going a little off topic, but I think it's a funny story to tell, and it just shows you like how bad of a kid I was. So Conker's Bad Fur Day is awesome, by the way. But
it was one of the first Peach like rated R type games too.
Yeah, it was definitely
for the N64.
M for mature, yeah. And so I'm 3 playing it, and but my mom's like, okay, it's time for bed, and I'm like, okay, get me chocolate milk. Because I would always drink chocolate milk and fall asleep in bed, and my mom would have to sleep with me or I wouldn't fall asleep because I needed the TV on or something, like just with me, and she wouldn't get me chocolate milk. And apparently, I got up in the middle of the night, grabbed chocolate syrup out from the fridge, ran into the room, and I was like, I wanted chocolate milk or something like that, and I just sprayed it all over my mom, all over the bed, and everything. And my dad comes in and he's like, should have gotten chocolate milk.
Yeah, you.
That's like, I was like a horrible child. I don't think it stems from video games though. I was like 3 or 4 doing that. So
yeah, you would have got choked out.
Yeah.
See, me and my little brother are 11 years apart, so I pretty much raised my brother. Like I said, you're about the same age as my brother, and it's just like. He does some stuff like back in the day. I never physically punch my brother in the head or in the face or anything. But I would throw him around. Like he would get tossed around.
I don't throw my brother around, but like he'll be like want to fight like jokingly, and then he'll start hitting me. And he's 6, so it's like he's a kid, but he can hit. Like he can punch you really hard. He got like bony ass knuckles. Like it's not like I don't know. He's so skinny too. It doesn't make any sense. He's like the strongest child ever. I think he's like the best thing though that ever happened in my life probably. Like cuz so I'm 20, he's 6. So he came around when I was like 14. And that's when I hit like peak depression at that point. I don't know why. Just like that teenager thing. Yeah, you go through and you're like, oh, I'm sad. Oh, a hot chick, and I'm sad again. Like, but
weird, awkward boner in between there.
Oh my god, those are the worst.
You're like, I didn't even do anything,
dude. Just sit. Like, I just remember one time sitting in English class in like 5th grade, maybe 6th grade. And this is so weird. Like, I know my whole family's gonna watch this. They're gonna be like, man, he's 20 now. This is weird.
I'm sure Eddie's gonna love it, though.
Oh, Eddie, I guarantee he's just gonna be like, yo, look at this video. Like,
he's talking about awkward boner.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
Go on.
Yeah. So, I remember being in, 5th or 6th grade, and the English teacher was like this older lady. I don't want to say her name, because I don't know if anyone's related to her. I don't want it to be weird, but like
she gave you a boner.
No, she didn't. She was like, now read out to the class, and I was reading the words, and it was like something about like her dress tightly to her body, and my mind was like, oh god.
Here we go.
And then and I was like, can I go to the bathroom? And I remember like grabbing my textbook and walking out with me, and I'm like, they're gonna question me why like
I wanted to really read this. I had to shit, and I really wanted to read this chapter.
Yeah, it's just I can't, it's hard for me to get onto the toilet since I'm like 4 feet tall, so I just step stool. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you use your book to get up.
Yeah, it's a good excuse.
That's a really good excuse. Think of that. That's awesome.
Yeah. But since you said about Eddie, I remember one time, so I used to be into sports a little bit. I played football and baseball and hockey, and I wrestled for like a year. I did not like wrestling. Wrestling was awful. that's just a personal thing. Like, I'm sorry, I just spit like all over there. But like, that's just a personal thing. I enjoyed...
I wanted to do wrestling until I found out it's not what I watched on TV.
No.
Yeah, I can't hit people with chairs.
You ever see that South Park episode where they're like, he's having my baby.
I had 14 abortions.
She had 14 abortions. It's just like, oh my God.
We're not making fun of abortion.
No,
we're quoting in the South Park episode.
Yeah, I mean, if you're offended by South Park, you're probably still offended. But, oh man.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Eddie, he's a pretty big influence on my music taste, I think, in general. Like, him and his friends, because I just grew up with him pretty much. Like, essentially, he was you, and I was your brother in that aspect of things, and now I'm you, and my brother is your brother.
Well, how you were saying before, how, like, 14 years old. So, I was 11 when my brother came around. And I didn't really take it into consideration till I was about 13, 14. But I remember, like, I was doing some stuff I shouldn't have been doing. I could have easily went down a path, because around that 14, 15-year-old age, it sounds crazy to think about now, but in Monty City, like, I had friends that were starting to experiment with, like, drugs and alcohol at that age.
Oh, it's Pottsville, dude.
It's crazy. It's crazy to even think about at 14 and 15 years old. But I had one path of friends who took one way, and I was kind of with them, and I started walking that path.
Yeah.
And then I remember being like, you know, like, I live in a town where everybody knows everybody. Everyone knows. Like, I would get in trouble, and they'd be like, "I'm going to tell your dad." I'm like, "Well, that's not good." You know what I mean?
That's not what I want.
You can't be slick. Like, you're going to be found out. So then I'd be like, "All right." So then my brother started coming up, and I'm like, and I started thinking about it. Like, whatever I do now, even to this day, I still think of this. Like, whatever I do now, you're not just speaking for yourself, and your actions don't just speak for you. Your actions are going to reflect my little brother when he gets to a certain age. Like, oh, well, your older brother was a piece of shit. I guess you're going to be one too.
Yeah.
Like, you represent your parents. You represent your friends. Like, you represent. Like, people don't really take that in consideration.
Never.
When you walk out of your house every day, you're more of a representation of just yourself.
And it's like, it's a difficult thing too, because obviously I have family that's very supportive of me and very awesome, and then I do have family that went down like a wrong path of sorts, and it's just kind of like, it's not that I don't even want to it's not that I distance myself from a certain group of people, but it's like, it feels like if I am like not associated with them, but like if I talk to them, it's just like a weird vibe. Like, it's hard to talk to them because
I still talk to those people, and I still talk to, like, I say, I'm not a judge. I'm not saying you are either. But when I see someone who's going through that, I'll still extend it and give them the same respect to somebody else. Because I have a personal feeling that if you radiate enough positivity and enough positive light, it's like the law. I'm a very firm believer in the law of attraction. That's like, I don't really have much of a spiritual background or a religious background, but I really need something. And my thing is the law of attraction. So I feel like anytime you think negativity thoughts or you act negative, you're going to attract negative.
Oh, for sure.
And if you're positive, yes, the negative is going to try to infiltrate. But if you overcome that and react to that negativity with more positivity, it's kind of like shooting a counter shot.
Yeah.
And you may come across someone who is doing something very, very negative. Like, even with this podcast now, like, there are people who can listen to it and be like, holy shit, this is not the same Tony I remember from 10 years ago. and me just sending out that wave of that positive influence, they can be like, well, if he can do it, I can do it. Anything like that. So I always just try to treat anybody, like, if they come up to me like, hey man, like, hey, I say, are you good? Like, yeah. You need help? Well, no. I was like, well, I could talk to people for you. Like, I know there's like, and I'll try to help them in their journey. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if they are doing good, I'm like, yo, man, like, I don't sugarcoat the fact that I know you know what you're doing too. But I'll say, like, hey, there's a better way here. You know what I mean? So I'm very accepting to everybody, but that's the thing too. Like, when I grew up with my brother, I would try to be more of a role model and an influence. So when he did grow up, people were like, hey, that's not the way you, like, if I, like, they would go to my brother like, oh, you're gonna be a little dick, and he'd be like, yeah, and then I'll tell your parents, like, I don't care. I'll tell your brother. He's like, all right, let's talk about this. Let's figure this out.
Yeah, I think there was a similar thing to that with, like, I don't know. I can't really say that I ever did bad. Like, I was a weird kid. I would do awful things in front of my family, and then at my friend's house, I would be like, oh, you want me to do the dishes for you?
Yeah,
Can I help
angel.
you pull the yeah, I was, like, fucking amazing. Like, I was the kid that my parents wanted me to be, and I ended up being to everyone else. And I really appreciate that in the aspect of, like, my mom bringing me up in the time that she did by herself, or whatever happened there. You know, it's just like, I don't know.
Maybe there's a part of you too that was seeking acceptance or something more than what you were getting, and you didn't think you didn't think you were getting it, but you were, and then you were just kind of acting out.
Yeah, it's
that's also teenage hormones as well.
And it's like, I don't want anyone to think that I hate them or don't care for them about anything that happened, because I know there were times where my mom was upset or my dad was upset about something, and they thought that I didn't care about them, and I'm just like, no, I'm just a kid, and I'm fucking stupid right now, and I'm trying to figure out what I want to do in life. And even now, it's like a hard thing, like managing time between friends and family, because it's like, what's more important, hanging out with your friends or hanging out with your family in this sense of time? And like,
and you're throwing a music career on top of it.
Yeah. what you would call a career. I don't know.
I mean, you're starting it.
Yeah. I've been doing like the music thing for so long, and I want to get into that later, just because that's gonna be like that's just gonna be like a whole thing in itself. But like the friends and family separation, like I was really worried for a bit because my grandmother wasn't doing like the greatest, and she had like a stint put in and stuff, and so like sometimes I go to call her, and it's not that I forget to call her, it's just I have like other stuff on my mind, and then I feel like really upset afterwards, and like sometimes I'll even cry because I'm just like, oh man, I'm a really shitty grandkid. And it's not even that, like my pop, like I don't always talk to him all the time, and I hardly talk to my mom, and I live with her, and it's like, so in the last year or two I've started to try and like connect more with my family. It's like, it's a weird thing being a teenager, because you just like, maybe it's just me, but I always could never, like, I did not like sitting and eating with my family. I just like to be by myself and like watch TV or play games and eat and stuff like that. I was just like a nerd.
How long were you homeschooled? Like from what grade on?
So I went into middle school in Pottsville, and then 7th grade, as I was something happened, and I got sent to the office for no reason. I actually got detention there once because I bought like one of those fake chew gum things, and it's like zaps you or some shit, and I got detention for that. Because some kid was like, can I try it? And I was like, sure. And they did it, and then he started crying, and he wouldn't let go of it. I was like, okay, well, shit. Like, I don't know what to do now. And the principal came over to me. He's like, what happened? I was like, he wanted to use this, and then the principal did it, and he was like, huh. And I was like, okay. And he's like, well, he's hurt, so you're going to get detention and lunch. And I was like, damn it. Now I can't sit with my friends. And then I got to sit alone. And I was like, oh, okay, no one's gonna try to steal my extra slice of pizza or like put sauce on my food. Like, yeah, fuck yeah. But no, like I got called to the office for something, and I can't remember what it was, but they were like, oh, you're not in our system. And I was just like, what? And they were like, yeah, you've never been called to the office, or no, you've never done anything bad except for like this one time, so we don't know what to do here. And I was just like, what the fuck? And my mom was like, well, what do you want to do? Like, I couldn't go to another school because I lived in Pottsville, and it would have costed way more, and I guess because of whatever. And so I was like, well, let's try online school. One of my cousins was doing it at the time. Ben, I'm not going to say last name. I don't want to say anyone's last names because I don't want to like put anything out there, but he's like a really good artist, and I love him so much. He did that thing for my birthday. You know, it says like Billy Trey, and then it's like a picture of my face. He did that for me. He was like, oh, I just took the photo you did, and I just kind of drew over it. I'm like, yeah, but still, that's fucking sick. Like, look at how like tight these lines are and shit. Like, he's a cool character too, because he is so much funnier than anyone ever, but he's so clean about it and so dry, and like when it's a joke lands with him, you're just like, I'm dead. Like, I am ascended. I can't breathe. And so I don't know, it just, we were talking about school. Okay. Yeah, so after that my mom was like, yeah, let's just do the online thing, we could try it, you know, but you're really gonna have to wake up, because that was a problem in Pottsville. I was not waking up or going to school, and I wasn't getting...
We say to playing video games?
Yeah. Yeah, I was staying up for days playing video games. One time I slept...
I have you all sniffed out.
Yeah. One time I slept for literally 2 days straight in my nan's house. My Uncle Chris and my Uncle Eddie were there. It's so weird calling them uncle, because I just call them Eddie and Chris all the time. But Chris was like, get up, and he started spraying me with a water bottle to wake me up, and I was just like, I hate this. Like I never had any aggression towards you. We never really talked much, but right now I hate you. And like it was just so funny.
Wait till you fall asleep. I'm getting the chocolate syrup.
Yeah. Oh my god. But so then we did that. We did the online schooling, and it wasn't working out for me. Like, I was not waking up. I was not doing anything. Like, I just didn't have the drive to do it. I was being a kid, you know? And somehow I passed miraculously. Hypothetically, my mom helped me a lot to take the terrain Myricks route of it. Hypotheticals all around. But yeah, I did like the online schooling because there's so much that I could do that I couldn't do in public school.
Yeah.
And you still connect with people, but I do think there is an aspect to it that you're not going to be as social in public. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a big issue, is like, you have to know who you are in order to go a certain way in life. And that's a weird, deep thing for schooling, but like that's the most important years of your life. That's like what you build upon.
You learn your spider senses, I call them.
Yeah,
like,
spider senses.
I have a friend who he was in a lot of the, I don't want to say special class, but he was like learning disabled classes, and he was kind of sheltered from other people in the school, and a lot of people would be like, oh well, because he's in these classes, like we're not gonna like he didn't get the same treatment as someone who was in like the regular classes.
No, dude,
And then when he goes out in public, he doesn't realize that he could be in potential danger, and I'm like, stop saying and doing the things you're doing. It's not good.
Yeah, no, you're just making up lies, pretty much.
Well, not just lies. He doesn't have that spider sense.
Well, no, when
he's saying something bad.
Yeah. It's so my cousin Scott. He has autism, but growing up, we all grew up. It was me and my cousins Scott and Jaden, and we were like the closest. I was still close with my other cousins Ben and Harry on my mom's side. So me growing up, I was around two kids all the time pretty much, because I was out with Scott and Jaden, or I was out with Ben and Harry, and I just like, it just didn't, nothing ever struck me as like, oh, he's different than us, because he's not. You know, he's just another kid like us. He's just another person like us. He has a job. He got a job before I did. Yeah. He can drive. I think he has his permit, and he is just accelerating more in life than I feel like I am. Like, and he's like, man, I hate college, and like, or like stuff like that. And he's like always talking to me about, but he's not. It's not different than anyone. And that's the problem with people, is like, even if you grow up not even slightly different, but if you grow up with like a label on yourself, then everyone's going to perceive you as that label. But never knowing that label exists, no one could tell. Yeah. And it's just, it kind of goes back to like the family thing, and like, I'm the same way with you. Like, I'm not judgmental. I have this thing in my brain where I'm like, all right, I can only do like one huge mistake and then I'm done with you. Like, it's just how I am, because my mom brought me up to be extremely accepting. Like, my whole family, it brought me up to be extremely accepting of everything. Like, she doesn't care about I'm just like, I forget what she said one time. And I was like, well, I'll just start dating dudes at this point, because I couldn't keep a girlfriend. I was like, getting a girlfriend. I'd have a girlfriend for like 3 months. It's a stupid subject for like a real podcast, but like I'm slightly a teenager, so I'm going to talk about, but like relationships. Yeah. So I'd have like a girlfriend for 3 months, and then we break up, and then I'd have a girlfriend for 3 months, and then we break up. And I'm like, I'm just going to start dating dudes at this point. I might just date my best friend Gavin. Yeah. And she was like,
minus the sex part. That sounds like an awesome idea.
Yeah, I mean, even the sex part would be great. I
mean, for me, hang out with my dude friends all day, and just like, oh, we're gonna have sex now. No, I'm good. That's the only part I'm not.
Yeah.
I didn't sign up for.
I'll watch you have sex. Maybe, I don't know. You do it. I don't know.
Yeah, you do it. I'll hang out over here.
Let's just talk. We'll commentate over it. we'll bring you on to the box, but we got to call it something else for the male viewer.
Oh, yeah. So before the show started, he was like, that's why it's sitting here. I don't know if people are looking like, oh my God, the box is there. Are we going to get a box episode? No. The reason I stopped doing the box is because no one showed me any love in it. Like, I always say, hey, leave me some comments below. Let me know if you like this. And no one ever did.
Dude, I liked every box. If I didn't, then I'm going to now because I don't know. I just thought it was an interesting thing that it's not It's not always relevant to the podcast that's going to be, but it's like
only like
cool,
13 questions. Once I did,
so these ones are blank.
Oh, all blank.
Okay.
Yeah, these are the ones that were like, oh, cool. If you want to add to the box, we could add. Like, this is it. This is the questions. And then after I did them all like 14 times in a row.
Maybe that's the thing. Maybe people are like, well, we don't know what questions to ask, so maybe you want to like just add a bunch of random questions.
Yeah.
And then maybe eventually people will be like, once they know the guest, like if you have returning guests, maybe they'll be like, oh, let's throw this on the box for this episode or something.
Maybe it'll come back. So, all right, if you were a ghost, who or what would you haunt?
If I was a ghost, who or what would I haunt?
Yep.
Probably Eddie.
Eddie?
Yeah, just because fuck you.
Now remember, if you're haunting Eddie, you're going to see everything.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe an item of his. Okay. Maybe like a guitar or bass or something, like, and just be like, yeah, I shouldn't bring that up now because he's on tour. So if I was like, maybe I'd haunt a bass and just fuck him up for like a whole song, and then like on tour you'll see a video where like his bass explodes in his hands.
When he played at the Chameleon?
The Chameleon Club, where we were all there.
And he tried to step on his...
Oh, man, I thought he was going to die. I was like, fall.
He literally did this and this, and I screamed. I literally turned, and I stopped looking at the stage. I thought that was the end of Eddie.
I think... It's so weird. I mean, I hope it's cool that intermittently I talk over because my mind just rolls.
Yeah.
And if I don't let it go, I'm just lost.
Yeah, okay, it's all good.
I sometimes feel like he thinks that I hate him or something.
Who?
Eddie.
No,
because we have that weird, like, his brother relationship type thing. It's so weird growing up, and it's like, I can't call him my uncle because it just we're not, like, that's not our vibe.
You have, like, a cousin vibe almost.
Yeah, that too.
Like a cousin or a brother, like, yeah.
Yeah, because I grew up in that house with him pretty much, and I guess he always had to watch me or something. Like, not always had to watch me, but it was like the same
top
thing.
5 favorite people on the planet for me. Like, I just love him to death.
He's really great to me as a nephew or whatever, what have you. And I surprised him the one time with, I think it was a signed hockey stick. I can't remember what player it was. It was really fucking expensive, and I bought it, and I was like, hey, here's this thing, and then I surprised him with comics the one day, which is like Ren and Stimpy comics, because that was like his favorite thing, and I feel like we always try to one-up each other with like shows or whatever, and Bayside is like our favorite band. Like, that's our band that we always try to see together. Like, that's our shit. That's what we do. And he brought, like I said, his musical interests just kind of influenced me into liking what I like. And we don't have all the same interests, but Bayside and Smoking Popes are like the top two where it's just like, oh, we both like love these bands and have a general appreciation for them. And within Bayside, I surprised him with VIP tickets a couple times. I surprised him with VIP tickets for Christmas show. I think I bought 3 of them, and I brought a friend because she never saw Bayside before, which was really cool. Her name's Lexi. She used to play drums all the time, and like we would hang out and jam. It's like Lexi, me, this girl Allison, who was friends with her, who would play bass, and like we're not great. Like, we weren't a real band. We just kind of just fucked around and just played shit, and I was like, that's the best way to do it. But
that's how you get good.
Yeah, and so in doing so, I think he was just like, every time we would do something where I would get him some gift or some shit, he would be like, you're the best ever. And I'm just like, I'm just trying to be better than you. Like there's just like this weird like competition thing. Yeah. But I appreciate it. Like, I think it's like a good competition thing.
I root for him with everything. Like when he went on the first tour of Crowbar, I was like, man, like there's nobody on this planet deserves it more than him. And
in a short span of time, there's people that would be like, oh, well, he hasn't been in it long, but I mean, he's been doing it since he was a kid.
Yeah.
He's been playing since
he's been
he was
doing
a
it
kid.
like
yeah.
I don't know who would say Eddie hasn't been doing it long. I mean, that's crazy. Actually. That's all. You ever see him? There's only two things in it.
Well, I think it's just like the young factor of it. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing around here where people see young kids and they're like, I don't know if I'll go out, like Apollo 88. Like, I don't know if I'll go out. It's young kids or something. And they're not young kids, but you know what I mean? They're like...
Well, No Rain Checks gets that as well.
Yeah, that too.
And then 90% of the people that after the show is over, halfway
they're like, oh
through,
shit, they played stuff I like.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Not only that, their energy. They're like, wow.
I really like No Rain Checks, and I really like Apollo 88, and they like... I wouldn't... So, I've been doing the music thing forever, and oh man, I'm so sorry. Yeah, could you not? Could you edit that out? That's gross.
I'm highlighting. I'm gonna make that louder.
That was disgusting. I'd never do that.
Don't worry about it. I'm a Howard Stern fan. He burps all the time.
Oh, it's great. Oh my god. But No Rain Checks and Apollo 88, like they're just doing it, and I think that's the best way to go about it. So like my introduction to being on a stage was
Pop punk, the punk rock prom.
No.
No?
No. The first time I was on stage was with a band I enjoyed and I listened to as a kid, which was Handguns, because Eddie toured with them.
Yeah.
They brought me on stage for a song, and that was like my introduction to being on stage, playing on stage. Punk rock prom was me like actually singing for the first time, playing on stage. It was, like,
and your mom drummed?
My mom drummed, yeah, and it was awesome. I have like part of a video on my YouTube channel.
That was a good show.
Yeah, it was.
It's a confusing show, but it was a good show.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have built it Punk Rock Prom.
Yeah, no, I think it was just like the label, like the title that they were going for, but like I don't know, it was a weird thing.
Yeah,
and
I would have named it like Artist Showcase Show or something like that.
Yeah,
it was more of like it was a little bit of everything at the show.
Yeah,
and I think people were like, "Cool, we're gonna go see a punk show," and then they're like, "Wait a second, there's only like really 2 punk bands on this show."
Yeah, and it's not even like I don't know. No Rain Checks was smart about it though, because they were like, "Oh, we'll just do it, do it around that." And I was like, I would do the same thing, but booking a band and then making the title, or maybe they had the title before and then they booked
I'm not
the
sure
bands.
how it went
I don't know
down.
how it went, but like, I would have done it way differently.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a kid, so I'm just gonna use the excuse I'm a kid all the time, and then no one's gonna even bother with it. I shave, I'm 12, and it's fine. No, but. Yeah, no, so how that came about was, Eddie said it on the podcast already, but pretty much I guess he was watching the one video. I did a cover of a Handgun song, and one of their first, like, I guess he's just the founder, Jake Langley, he saw it and he was like, tell him to learn this song, which was a song I could never fucking play. Like, I could just never do it. And then I was like, well, I guess I'm either gonna do it and I'm meant to do it, or I'm gonna fuck up on stage. And I started doing it, and it just came to me. And it's so weird that our family has like the spider sense of like, when you know you have to do something, it's gonna happen or it's not. Yeah. And you're gonna make the best of it. Like, anytime I'm about to do anything in public, it's so easy performing in front of people I don't know, because I do not give a fuck. Like, I'm swearing so much, and I apologize.
No,
I know
fine.
I remember watching, maybe it was Terrain, maybe it was Timmy, where you're like, oh, we don't swear that much. We're not one of those podcasts, but I'm really ruining that reputation.
No, you're good.
And
you're a kid. You're a
kid. The other kids didn't do it, but you're cool. But
you're so young.
Yeah, it's just I don't care what people think of me, because what they think isn't what they know. When you find out about people, it's like, so like when I first met, like not even met you, but like heard about you, I was like, oh, he sounds like a genuine guy, but is he a genuine guy? Like, I'm not skeptical, but
you did your research
through like my life growing up. I grew up in Pottsville. You gotta really make sure people are real. Like, no offense to anyone from Pottsville, but the school that I went to and my my days in school were just,
They weren't pleasant.
No, I was never bullied or anything like that. Like, one time a kid just started commenting random shit on my Facebook because he thought I hit on his girlfriend. And I was like, dude, I don't have the looks. I'm maybe funny enough, but that can't hold over. Like, I had man boobs. Like, I was not about it.
Yeah.
I didn't even care. Like, I was like 14. I didn't care for chicks at the time.
Yeah.
I was like, I was
like I said, Sam 14.
yeah. Like, I cared, but I didn't care enough.
Yeah.
I was just all about games. That was my thing. And I just wanted to make people laugh. Like, that was it.
Are you, game-wise, what's your... Now, don't sell PC. I don't want to hear PC Master Race bullshit. Pick a console. What's your console?
If I had to pick a console, right now, just PlayStation 4.
You're a PlayStation guy?
Yeah, because Xbox 360 fucking killed it.
Yeah.
Like, they were solid on exclusives, solid on gameplay, online capabilities were amazing, and they only got, not hacked, but they were shut down one time for, like, a Christmas. Remember when that happened? When there was, like, the whole...
The biggest thing with that system was the red rings. That left a bad taste in people's mouth.
Yeah.
I'm an Xbox guy.
Well, the first creation of everything's gonna be pretty bad.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure the first wheel was square, and the Canadians took that over. Good reference. If you don't know it, no?
Is that
South Park? Yeah, the Canadians have, like, square wheels and driving around. Oh, man. I believed in you.
But yeah, I'm an Xbox guy. I have a PlayStation 4, but I pretty much prefer my Xbox. But going back to the physical games, I'm really getting into my Switch now. And Switch, I do all physical games for the most part.
See, I don't like it. Like,
you don't
I like...
Switch?
Oh no, I love the games.
Oh.
I don't like the way the games are made. I don't like the chip thing. It's
Yeah.
too easy to lose. And don't say it's fucking not. Just put it in the case. Yeah, okay. Yeah, put it in the case. I was always awful with that. Being a kid. Yeah, no, the CD, I would have like stacks of games face down, like the print would be on the bottom so that the back wouldn't get messed up, that where it would be red, and I would just have them face down on my console. Like, I just didn't take care of anything. I was terrible at it.
Yeah.
And now, so it's ironic the job that I have now, because I'm just, like, on it. Like, I'm just taking care of everything, cleaning everything up. Like, oh, man.
Yeah, I'm obsessed right now with Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Is it? You like it?
Not Marvel vs. Capcom. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
I knew exactly what you were talking about, but I was like...
I hate fighting games.
Yeah.
I love it. There's some few things that we're going to talk about on Thursday, because me and both Eddie Header are playing it, so we're going to give it like our review.
Yeah. It's not a spoiler, but like, I don't like the fact that the roster is so large offhand. I feel like
I wish there was other people in it.
That too.
Yeah, I wish there was other people. There were some characters in there that I'm like, there's one I had to look up, and I like comics, but there's one character I had no idea who they were.
You see, like, I think with Deadpool was like the movie Deadpool.
I'm burnt out of Deadpool.
Really, just because of all of the shit behind it and
not
stuff,
only that, it's just like everyone's like, oh, Deadpool was the greatest movie ever. I'm like, if you messed up on Deadpool, then it's on you, because I think it's easier to make realistically.
Oh, they fucked up on Deadpool before, but
I mean, like, it wasn't his solo movie. Yeah. Like, to make a Deadpool movie isn't a hard thing to do. Like, he's very easy to do because he's funny.
You all you have to be is funny, man.
Yeah,
but that's hard to say. Could you imagine a Seth Rogen Deadpool movie? Like, do you know how that? You know, I love Seth Rogen, but I don't think that would work out very well. Like, it would be pretty bad.
Who would he cast to play Deadpool?
Because he's on Sorry.
Probably James Franco.
James Franco.
Yeah.
I don't know. No, you know, I would hope he went a different route. I would hope he would pick Jonah Hill in his prime as a big guy,
like
just like a fat Deadpool. Yeah, I feel that would be ingenious, because the whole idea of Deadpool is that it doesn't take itself seriously, and I feel like there wasn't a lot of that in the movie. Like, it didn't take itself seriously, but it could have been way more B-movie, like B-horror movie. Like, that would have been perfect. Like a not low quality visually, but low quality effects or something. Like, something so stupid. Like, that would have been amazing. Yeah. And
what's your favorite video game franchise?
Franchise? Oh shit! Like, that's just
You're a PlayStation guy. I'm surprised you didn't like Uncharted.
No? I wasn't about Uncharted.
Really?
No, I just really didn't like it. I liked The Last of Us, which kind of like...
See, I didn't like that game, and people are like, you what? I'm like, it didn't do it for me.
I just felt like Uncharted was very arcade-esque.
I like Tomb Raider's
better.
better.
Third one. Yeah, Tomb Raider is really good. I want to say Far Cry.
Okay.
Only because I've been streaming Far Cry 5 lately with my buddy Jeremy, and I'll talk more about him later when we go back to the music thing, because there's a lot going on there, but like, Far Cry 5 is amazing. Like, it's so much fun.
It's crazy because this company has let me down so many times, but I'm a Ubisoft dude through and through.
I feel you.
My favorite series is Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
I love Assassin's Creed. I love Far Cry. I love the Ghost Recons and stuff like that. I'm a big fan of those.
Rainbow Six is my shit.
Yeah, Rainbow Six.
Oh,
I love Watch Dogs.
Really?
Yeah, I like Watch Dogs. The new one's coming out looks awesome.
See, I played the first one, and I couldn't get behind it because the vehicle physics were garbage.
They were.
For the time being.
I looked at it like, I played it, and I'm like, man, this is what I want in a game.
It has potential.
I can't wait to see what they do with part 2. Like, I was already playing part 1 and saying, all right, I'll let this one slide, but they better come with it. And I loved part 2. And then part 3 looks insane.
See, I was gonna go with GTA.
Yeah.
For the solo aspect, like GTA 4's vehicle physics, like you brush up against something, dent in the car. Like GTA 5, it just like that was a letdown for me. Like I'm not a big vehicle person. Like I know shit about cars. I don't care to learn that. That's why we have AAA. And other
mechanics.
things, yeah. Like, we have people that like my dad he works on vehicles for a living, so I'm like, I'll just call him if anything goes down. I would like to have that knowledge. I just can't retain it because I have dumber things to retain in my mind.
Like the lyrics to Always Sunny in Philadelphia songs.
Oh my god, you saw that? Yeah. Oh man, I wanted to do the other one,
the Dayman and the Nightman.
I would do that one too. I would do that live. Yeah. I would like have Terry come up with his keyboard and hit like the button, and Terry James, I would totally hit him up, be like, "Hey, dude, you want to do something really stupid with me?" And I don't know if he'd do it, but
awesome singing.
Oh my god! I would hit the low. Fighter of the night, man. Like, just, that would be fucking tight.
Gotta pay the troll toll if you want to get in this boy's hole.
I am the night man. I creep through the night. Just talking.
Start karate dancing.
Yeah. Oh my god, I love Mac so much. He's my favorite character.
That's one of the only shows where I can relate to like every character in a little bit. Yeah.
It's the best representation of Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Or even just the Skook area.
Someone told me the other day that I remind them of Charlie, and I was like, what? They're like, yeah. I was like, I don't see it at all, but I mean, I love Charlie Day. I'll take it, but I've never gotten that. I think someone from Culture said I remind them of Charlie.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
I don't know how I feel about
I
that.
loved the Sid from Toy Story. Like, that was my favorite thing. And I heard that, I was like, I fucking get it. I was thinking the kid from Recess.
Never
the
seen
main
Recess.
Oh my god, he has like the red hat back,
really?
His hair sticks out.
Well,
and, like,
I get a lot because of the pug nose, the pig nose, and the beady little eyes. So I get like Mark Wahlberg minus the muscles, like Nick Jonas back in the day, the lead singer of Simple Plan. Oh, pretty much everyone with beady little eyes and a pug nose. Yep.
Oh man, I don't get anyone. I don't think
Buddy Holly. Or the lead singer of Weezer.
Oh shit, that happened to me the other day. Yeah, that too.
The lead singer of Weezer.
Yeah, now I get it, because I'm a skinny boy, so I get that. Any type of nerd that
but Weezer's awesome.
Weezer is awesome. I'm trying to go see them in August.
Yeah, I
really want to, and tickets are just crazy for anyone anymore. I got lucky. Someone took me to Blink-182 a while ago. I'm no longer friends with that person, so I don't want to bring it up, but it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was, I had a good time. Hypothetically, I snuck way closer to the stage than I was supposed to. Like,
you're not trying. If you're not, you have to give it a shot.
Yeah, I mean, well, okay, so in Hershey they have very bad security. No offense. No, the security at the door was really good, okay? But the security for the pit, like, they have like a security thing where they come up and check your wristband. That's it. That's their security. But they didn't do that when the bands weren't playing. So no one was there. So what I did was I walked down and I just started walking through the area. No one stopped me. I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to stand in the pit for like 7 songs. And then they played What's My Age Again, and I forget what they played last. It might have been What's My Age Again. I can't entirely remember. Because, I don't know. I didn't.
Mark's doing this thing now during the tour where he gets off stage and like walks around the front of the pit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've seen a lot of videos of him doing that. I think he did it at Hershey, too.
That's
where he like got off the stage and he was like in front of the pit.
This was 2016, so it was when Matt just joined.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was cool to see Blink 180.
They were my first concert I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Blink 182. Blink 182 and Green Day in 2005.
Oh.
Pop Punk Disaster Tour.
I just call them Blink 180 now.
180?
Yeah, just 180. Yeah.
No Tom
no
took it too?
Yeah, no. I've been here before a few times. Like if you can't, I don't know. It's pretty easy to get there.
Apollo 88.
Dude,
Bane has his the Hot Mess bass.
For Mark,
and Tyler from Bad Maggie has Tom DeLonge's guitar, the like blue Robin Egg color guitar.
I really appreciate those guys for what they do. Like because it's hard around here. I mean, people are probably going to be like, you've only played like a couple of times, but I'm like, I've been out with bands before. Like, I've been around it. I see it. It's like the demographic for this area is just not for the younger age.
Yeah.
And a lot of younger age people don't want to be out super late. And you're having shows at 8 o'clock that end at 1 in the morning somehow.
Yeah.
And no one wants that.
But Skookstock will start at 1:30, and you'll get out of there by 12. And it's an all-age show. Just put it out there, everybody.
It's perfect.
It is a perfect show.
It's the perfect.
And everyone who complained and cried that, Crowbutt doesn't play in the area anymore, here's your chance. Come welcome the boys home from Europe and hang out for the album release party.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
There's so many talented bands, and there's so many bands.
Have you seen Face Guy Driver yet?
I have not. I've seen videos.
It's awesome.
I know that Eddie Reyes is in the band from Taking Back Sunday, and I never met him before, but he seems like an okay dude. I don't know.
Yeah. A fun thing is when we did the show with him, I was like, what, to go buy something? No problem, Anthony. And I was like, oh, what? And
I remember you telling
like, 2 or 3 and the other guys in the band were like, dude, we loved your interview with Randy. And I was like, and it meant a lot. I was like, holy fuck, like, the band sat down and watched the interview.
Randy is awesome.
I love Randy.
I don't think he ever remembers me when we meet, but then he'll be like, oh, Little Eddie.
Yeah.
Like, everyone says Little Eddie, and I'm like, I'm a Collins, but that's not my that's not my name. So everyone's like, the Little Eddie, the Little Collins, and I'm just like, oh, god damn it. Like, I don't hate it, because I appreciate, like, it's a name that carries over, and it's important to me that people see me as that in general, because it's such, like, it's a wonderful thing that you can go out and be like, oh, I know you, but I don't, like, I like it, but I don't want that to be me. Like, I don't want that to be, like, my entire life. I don't want it to be, like, I go somewhere and they're like, oh, he's a Collins, let him in, he's, like, he's good, and, because that's not true. My talent is way different from my family's talent. Like, I cannot stress that enough. Like, I swear way more, I'm just way more out there, I guess, would be the thing, I'm like Eddie, but like turned to like 100 at all times. Like, I'm just always joking. I'm not always serious, and I just don't. I get nervous at dumb times, like when it's not even important to get nervous, and it's like.
I think you're doing it the right way by jumping on and playing a couple songs here and there with people, opening up some stuff.
Yeah, it's
like your best bet right now is the coffee shop, the Press Coffee.
I loved playing there. I thought it was funny. I messed up so much, and the fact that I brought up the fact I messed up so much made it so much more entertaining for everyone else. And I was like, I think this is my thing. I'll just make fun of myself.
If that venue is going to be huge for you, another one that I would recommend for you as well is Culture to Culture, because you don't have to be 21 or older in a bar. It's on a bar scene.
Yeah,
and they'll give you like 3 15-20 minute sets where you can go in and just hone your skills.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
I really have to say thank you to Timmy for that, because he actually messaged me and he was like, hey dude, have you started playing yet? or anything like that? And I was like, not on my own. Like, I did the Gorilla Pack thing. And he was just kind of like, well, I have a slot if you want to be a part of it. And at first I was like, all right, well, I'm not so sure. Like, I just didn't have shit together. Like, I'll do a song, I'll learn a song, put it online, and it's like, that's it, you know, I'm done. And then, so that was going to be my first full set, right? And I was like so pumped about it. It was going to be like 30 minutes, it's going to be awesome. But we accidentally, like, we started early somehow, so I didn't have everything prepped. It was really just me messing up the whole time, but Timmy was awesome.
He's a good dude.
He is so genuine, and he's so cool, and he knows my uncle and family and stuff like that. And I thought it was so funny because I asked Chris Bowers to play guitar for me, and I don't know if you know this, but Eddie and Chris used to have the band Now the City back in the day, and I still want a reunion. So if you guys could do that, I'll play bass. I don't care. Like, I'll play horrible bass for you, and I'll do it. Because I pretty much grew up watching them guys play. And so when I messaged Chris, he was like, well, nothing with Gas Station, let's do it. And like, Chris is so cool. Like, he is so the chillest dude. Like, he's just so cool. You could just message him and he'll be like, what's up? Yeah. I mean, he might be like, what's up? I don't know if he'll reply the first try, but like, he's just one of those people who's always out doing something, and I kind of want to be like that. Like, I want to always put myself out there as much as possible.
That's what I try to do every weekend.
I mean, like, this is definitely, maybe you don't see it that way, but like, it's definitely more successful than maybe you'd expected, or it's just going exactly where you wanted it to go. Because I
don't really look so much at numbers, like how many people watch, and then when people come up and they say, "Oh man, I watched it," like, it still takes me back, like, "Oh shit, like really?" And they're like, "Yeah, like I watched this interview, and it genuinely feels awesome." Like, when people tell me that, like, I really, really enjoy it. And then like other people are like, "Well, I haven't watched it yet, but I see all the stuff you do on social media, and I really enjoy what you're doing." So like, it's definitely getting seen. The reach is crazy, and it's gonna be pretty crazy. I think this one's gonna be really crazy, and that's not me being self-centered. I don't think I'm that interesting. It's just my dad will share anything a million times, and I just want to apologize for like the thousands of times you've probably gotten tagged and things. Like, I love it. No, people, honestly,
I appreciate that support, but
I encourage people to do that. Like, when I went to Harrisburg, I met a lot of like local rappers and stuff out there, and I was like, yo, if you have a show coming up or an album or anything, tag me in it. I have a pretty decent amount, and I have some people, my friends, just like, yo, can you stop inviting me to pages? And I'm like, it doesn't take much for you to just click like.
Interest.
Just hit, like, even if you're not going to go to the show.
You don't even have to notify it.
Exactly.
Just do it.
Just because when you hit like on that page, that shows it to everyone on your page, and somebody may be into it. Yeah. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, like, it's growing, and it feels awesome. Like, I'm not really seeing much of the success from it yet. Like I said, Nikolai, it opened the doors for him for a few things.
I mean, you did see the success, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eddie Reyes kind of was like, hey, what's up,
yeah,
Tony?
I've seen that podcast with Randy where kittens run around. That was hilarious.
That was amazing. Didn't one like jump up in his lap where he grabbed it and he just petting it in the microphone? And so it's like,
the funniest part about that is, I have a dog. And Randy's like, yo, dude, I'm on my way I just left Philly now. I'm on
He brought the cats?
Yes.
So my God.
So he literally was like...
That's more info that I needed to know.
So he said... so those cats were born during the making of their Face Cut Driver's first album. Like, there was a stray... He called it the stray whore cat.
That's awesome.
And the cat came, had kittens, and just left. And they took care of the kittens and, like, brought them up. So Randy calls me and goes, I'm on my way from Philly. By the way, I have a box of cats. Click. And I said, Heidi, there's a box of cats coming to the house. And she goes, what do you mean? I was like, Randy's bringing a box of cats, and he's not going to answer. Like, it's already in motion. This is happening. We got to put Lady upstairs.
He is just the most interesting character. Like, I love him. like I don't know him, but I love him. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's so
hilarious.
He's weird in the best way, and the way that I put it was like, dude, he's like Billy Joe Armstrong, but as a dad. Yeah. Like in a sense. Like, and I hope he's not offended by that, but
he doesn't have kids, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
I hope I don't think he knows if he does or not.
But like he just like, you know what I mean? Like he's crazy.
His front man, like his ability to be a front man is super contagious, because a lot of, like, I always said, like, the two most influential frontmans in our area for the longest time was Randy and Andrew Hare, and then like Jaybird started like Jaybird had a little bit of Randy and a little bit of Andrew.
I remember
took it to Jaybird's level. You know what I mean? Like, so I always give Randy that respect, because when he's on stage, man, he takes control of the crowd.
Yeah, dude.
He's so good at what he does.
I just want to stop on Jaybird for a second, because I didn't know him, like, I knew him kind of personally just because of Eddie and stuff like that. And so when I would go and I would see shows when I was like 8 or 9, I'd be like, whoa, he just did a backflip and he's screaming in the mic. And I'm like, this is Bullet for My Valentine. And I'm an emo 9-year-old. Like, what is this? Like, oh, man. He's like cool dude. And like, there's still like videos from like their tour and stuff. And like, I don't want to tell any stories because of maybe that Eddie wants to do, but I remember they were talking about just one time people were wrestling and stuff and it got out of hand. And I was like, okay.
Someone started bleeding.
Yeah, something like that, maybe. I don't know. But I was like, it sounded like a good time.
I'll put it out in the universe now, because I feel like if you put it out there, it comes to fruition. One of my weird my trains of thought, but I'd love to do an episode where I get a few people together that like were close to him, like former bandmates or friends,
like a memory,
and do like a Jaybird episode where everyone just shares Jaybird stories.
Yeah, he seemed like a really cool guy, and
he's been gone now for a few years, and I I knew him, like we hung out, we talked, but I would never consider myself like I was one of his best friends, because a lot of people I think do that when you lose someone, like we're like he knew of me, like we sat in a tattoo chair and talked for hours, and I met, like we hung out here and there, but like I wasn't on the level of friendship of everybody else, but his memory is still like, I still go to a bar and like, what do you want a shot of? And I'm like, give me blackberry brandy, and then when I take that shot for his you know, because that was his thing.
That's like my parents do that for one of their friends, and it's
good that he's not forgotten.
It's meaningful, you know what I mean? And my whole thing is like, and it's weird, this is a weird topic to get onto, but like when I die,
you would hope you can leave a legacy that people talk
I hope
about.
I could do that, but I also don't want people that if people really had like a bad connection with me, I don't want them to care to be sorry for like I don't know how to explain it. Like if you never liked me, don't be sorry and say that you're sorry now or you like me now, and it's a weird thing.
Or what if they didn't like you but they respected you?
Oh, that would be fair.
I think that's what a lot of things can happen too. Like, hey, maybe I didn't agree with this person at this time, but I respect his grind, his hard work, and his abilities as an artist, and that sucks that's gone.
Yeah, he really was. He was really like. It's weird because he was very influential in a sense to a lot of people around. He was really open. I think open. Because whenever I would go see him, he would hug Eddie. Yeah. Or like he was just like a cheery guy. Yeah. You know, but a lot of those guys liked alcohol and a lot of other things, and it's like like there's good. Then there's the entertaining, and then there's other things that you have with that.
And sometimes they cross over.
Yeah, and oh man, I love people like that, and I enjoy. Oh shit, man! I did the thing.
You did it.
I did the thing.
Off camera, he was saying, "Man, I love the interview. I can't stand when people bang on the table."
I literally like upcut. I was just like, "Sure, you can." Yeah, that's great. Oh my god, yeah, but I don't know. It's just like. For me, like meeting you for the first time, you were just like, "Hey, Billy, what's up?" And I was like, "Oh, he's coming at me full force. Might as well match it." Like it's that.
And I gave you that because of your like. Yeah. You know what I mean, I know your dad.
That type of personality is what is important in an influencer, I think. And there's a time where you have to know when to back up, like when not to do that. Obviously, there's people you meet them, and sometimes like reading the social cues. Like I have a horrible time reading social cues, and that's why I like the job I have now, because I meet a lot of people and I understand body language, and I understand like when's a good time to actually be like, oh hey, what's up, how can I help you, or whatever you need to do. And just knowing when people want to talk about things, because that's another thing too, somewhat on that topic, is like you should talk about whatever bothers you to anyone that you can. No, you should never do that, because dude, I did that when I was really young, and it just messed me up. And I just like, and I felt bad in a sense, because I was like, oh, why can't I talk to my parents about like what's bothering me? And I guess like that was part of it, is like my parents were like, something there was like bothering me, and I just never really knew how to bring it up or talk. And I think that's okay, because like I would get to the point where I would like break down in like the kitchen. And I remember one time my stepdad like walked in, he was like, what's wrong? And I'm just like, I don't know. I was just crying. And I just like, I don't know, you know. And sometimes that's okay though. I think it's dumb. There's like such a weird stigma on men in general, or people in general, where it's like, oh, you can't be upset. And I saw your culture to culture where you guys were talking about it, you know. And I have no religion thing. Like I don't click with it, you know, until I find something that I'm like about and believe in. I'm just trying.
I mean, I tried the Christian, I tried the Christian Catholic non-denomination, I tried it all. I tried that. But I really resonated to. I mean, is there a higher power? Maybe. Did some higher power put a deity down here to help us write a book that we have to all follow? I don't know if I can get behind that.
That's the one thing I could never get behind. Yeah. That's like, you ever watch Chasing Amy, Kevin Smith? Yeah. Fucking The Tracer.
Yeah.
yeah. That's like that. It's like, oh, so you just trace. But it's like you're tracing falseness. That's what you're doing.
So
or not falseness. I'm so sorry. No, I didn't mean to offend you. Oh God, no.
So I think if you break down my values, I think I live very Christian values, like our Catholic values, where I just treat people how I want to be treated. I don't go out of my way to harm people. I treat people with respect. And but I think I'm just really like I said, the biggest thing. I read a book. I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's some hippie stuff, but the book, The Secret. Okay. And it's a very quick read, but it just talks a lot about like, if you talk of something, if you talk enough about something or do it, like, you can't just talk. Obviously, you have to put in action.
Your effort in.
But if you say one day, I'm going to be famous, I'm going to get good at this. This is going to be my thing, and you talk about it enough and keep working towards it and keep that mindset, it'll happen for you. Maybe not on the level that you'll be the greatest person of all time who've ever done it, but you'll meet your goal. You know what I mean? But the same thing is, if you talk negative and like, I'm this, I'm terrible, you're eventually going to break yourself down to a point where you don't want to be. And I just kind of like the law of attraction. Like, there's people around me who perceive me a certain way, and I change the way I perceive myself, and that then affects the way other people perceive you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just radiant positive energy.
Yeah.
New day rocks. Positive power, positivity.
Dude, I can like right now I can't get into wrestling.
No,
not the WWE. My dad took me to see the G1 Supercard, and I was like, this shit rocks.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, I love Asians. That's just my thing. Like,
me too.
I just love. Yeah. I just like that's like in my friend group, they're like, oh, an Asian Billy's gonna freak out over this one. Like even dudes, even chicks.
You
like
love Asian culture.
I love fucking shit, dude. I'm sorry. I love the Asian culture, and I don't know what it is about the people, but they just in general, like their vibe is just so like it's just
they're zen.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
And just before we get off topic, because I feel like that just keeps happening.
That's the part of it.
I love it.
Look at that spike right there.
Oh yeah, that's from me. Yeah, that's definitely my
I think there's the first one, and that's the second one.
I feel so bad for when you go back to edit this. That's gonna be.
I'm leaving it. I think it's funny.
Oh my God!
Especially because you talk so much. I hate when people tap on the table. You just uppercut it twice.
Yeah. I'll tell you later, but I was gonna just say limiter. Use limiter. Hard limiter. Yeah, that's gonna be your best friend.
Yeah, you'll have to show me.
I will definitely help you out with that.
All right, cool.
Okay. But back on the way I was saying, yeah, G1 Supercard was amazing to see, and it made me so upset because I was like, wow, this is the effort they're putting into every match. And then in the WWE, it's like...
But you have to think of it too. The WWE guys, they wrestle 4 times a week, but it's not all of it's televised.
Well, no, I get that.
Where G1, they can save it for that big show.
I feel like the whole thing though is that they televise what they want.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't think it is for the fans. Like, people will say it's for the fans, and I'm like, really, the fans just want to see John Cena? Like, they don't want to see a new guy or something? Like, why did it take Kofi Kingston so long to get any type of championship? He had an amazing push when he started there, and then they were like, oh, let's dial it down.
Tonight's actually the Raw anniversary show.
Yeah,
and
dude.
Like Stone Cold, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Taker.
I feel so bad because it's like, what?
I haven't recorded. I'll watch it.
Okay, no, I was hyped about that. My stepdad told me last night. He reads like everything that he sees online about wrestling, and I'm like, dude, how much do you believe it? But he saw something, and he was like, apparently, the Hurricane's gonna get the 24/7 tag title, and I was like,
he almost did.
If you fuck with me on this one,
he almost did.
Like
during an IGN booth at Comic-Con, he rolled up R-Truth, and R-Truth kicked out, and then Drake Maverick rolled him up, and he kicked out, and then R-Truth ran away.
That makes me so sad.
Yeah, but he was there.
I love the Hurricane, dude. Like. That was my thing. I loved gimmicks, but I also loved real, like, I love damage, so I loved watching backyard wrestling. My cousin Will used to do that all the time.
I don't like that at all.
No?
No. Only because, like, those guys get paid nothing, and they're literally destroying their bodies for nothing.
I mean, that was college football for the longest time, wasn't it? Like,
yeah, that's very true, too. But I mean, like, college football, yeah, you're going out putting pads and stuff on, but these dudes are putting each other through thumbtacks for nothing. Like, and put themselves through glass tables. I
don't think it's essentially through nothing, because a lot of those guys that do the backyard wrestling, they eventually find, like, their independent
and a lot of them don't.
And a lot of them don't. Yeah, no, a lot of them just do it because they're like, remember Jackass?
Yeah.
Like, that's basically what it is.
Yeah.
And honestly, independent wrestling, favorite independent wrestler, but I guess he's with that, is AEW.
Who's that?
Orange Cassidy.
Orange Cassidy. Yeah. I don't think he's officially signed with AEW.
No, he was just in the Rumble.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I love that guy. It's so, like, it's stupid gimmick, but he can also fucking wrestle.
Yeah.
He can also wrestle and do everything.
Well, I like Joey Ryan.
Yes, I think, right?
The guy who tries to get everyone to touch his penis.
Yeah. That guy.
It's hilarious. Everyone hates him, but I think it's amazing. I love gimmick stuff. I'm a gimmick guy all day long.
I love it too. I love it when they can wrestle as well.
Yeah.
As like actual wrestle, not like forever. For like the last 3 years, WrestleMania was like, oh, we're gonna push this guy for like 27 minutes. We're gonna get a grapple. I'm gonna push you to the side, and then we're gonna walk in we're gonna do like a spin. Like, we're gonna spin and then be surprised that you're there or something. You know, like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
And it's just.
It's changing. WWE is changing a lot. Not so much when it comes to the, like, I think the wrestlers know themselves, like, they can't control the stories.
Yeah.
But when they have to go out there and put a match on, they go out and go crazy.
Oh, now like, a lot of the newer matches that I'm seeing, like, clips of.
Did you see the Cesaro versus Aleister Black match?
No.
Aleister Black laid a kick on Cesaro that I've watched a lot of mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
When that kick landed, I thought Cesaro was legitimately out cold. Like, he hit him, and it looked flush. And Cesaro literally got hit, and his whole body went limp. His mouthpiece literally fell out of his mouth, and he let himself just fall limp to the ground.
Dude,
and laid there. And I was like, he's out. Like, that was a legit kick. The referee jumped on him, and then the next week he was on Raw, and I'm like, that was a work, because he would have never been. That was a concussion protocol.
Dude, you know what I love about Cesaro though, and I'm not a huge wrestling fan, so don't like take anything that I say extremely seriously. But like, he is a big guy that could have done the whole two small guys, destroy him. I think he even did that like one time, but then they got Ryback, and they were like, oh, we could just do it with this big guy. Yeah.
He actually wrestled around here.
Oh yeah, no, he wrestled
Pine Grove or something like that. He wrestled Andy.
Oh, before WWE?
He actually wrestled Andy Header.
That's funny, because my dad takes me to wrestling every now and then, and that's when I like to be there. Like, even with sports, like, I like to be there. I don't like to watch it on TV. It's
you should go with us maybe some indie shows. Like I
go to PPW all the time with my dad.
We're going to the Enzo and Cass show.
Oh.
I can't wait. I'm a huge Enzo and Cass guy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, That's one thing that upset me about the G1 Supercard. Okay,
But they came out.
yeah,
I loved it.
I wasn't about it because the whole thing was this honor and respect thing, and then
that's
for
what,
them
that's
to
what
do
made,
that.
That's what made the Bullet Club big. Because Japan's all about honor and respect, and the Bullet Club was like, fuck your honor and respect. And that's what made the Bullet Club successful. That's what created AEW, was them going outside the box. What ruined the End Zone cast push is that the promoters didn't tell the boys in the back. So the boys in the back,
so that's why it looked super legit.
Yes,
and
that's why some guys were like, what is really happening? And then some guys were like, oh, this is a work.
Did you see the interview with the two? I think it's the boys in the back. They have like the white and red outfits.
Oh, the Briscoe brothers.
Is that who it is?
When I say the boys in the back, like they didn't tell.
Oh,
anyone,
you mean like the stagehand?
Yeah,
I was like boys in the back. That's like my favorite tag team.
No, like when I say the boys in the back, they didn't let anyone know that's part of the show. Like the people wrestling, anything that was going to be like only like
they wanted
only
it to
like
be
two
like
people
legit,
knew. Yeah, and it didn't work. Like it's cool. It's cool not to let certain people know, but you have to let the people that are working it. Yeah, because it confused a lot of people.
I think they started like actually like that. They were throwing some punches that looked super fucking legit.
Yeah, because they didn't know that.
And Bully Ray tackled.
I think Bully was in on it.
Yeah,
because Bully tackled him to get him to stop.
I think
hit.
to get him to get set. Yeah,
yeah, and then he was like letting people know, like, oh, yo, slow down, like it's not legit. Like, yeah.
Well, I don't remember who the two dudes were, but the ones that won. They went into an interview afterwards, and they were like, yo, fuck this WWE shit. And, like, they flipped the table. This isn't what we do.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, my God, that was real.
Yeah.
Like, that was legit.
Yeah, it would have worked if everybody would have been in on it. Because I still think, like, anytime the End Zone cast do something, it makes the news.
Yeah.
And I think a company's dumb to not sign them. That's my opinion.
I like the story stuff, but I think that WWE just went too dumbfounded with it, like just too. Yeah, there's too much really dumb stuff. They gotta
let the people who write the stories write the stories, and Vince needs to step back and let them do their thing.
And honestly, at this point, I don't know if it's all Vince. Like, I wonder if I feel like he could be like a scapegoat anymore. You know what I mean? Because you don't know what's happening behind
even the guys in the back are like when the guys get interviewed, they're like, oh no, I came up with this great idea, and Vince is like, no, and then he pitched the worst idea. That's what they went with. But let's get a little bit more into your music here.
Okay.
Right, well, because we're getting up there. So you said you've been doing this for a long time. Did you always start with guitar or?
No. The first thing I did was I played drums pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my mom taught me how to play Twisted Sisters. Well, the first thing I did was I sang Johnny Be Good on stage in St. Clair in like second grade for like some kind of like, was it like a talent show. And I was like, well, this isn't a talent, but I'll do it.
So let's break this down real quick. I mean, we could be here all night if we talked about your grandfather's musical accolades, but right now he's in Three's a Crowd.
Yep.
Your mom's in Adrenaline.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have them booked to be on the show.
That's awesome. Yeah, they were telling me about
They're gonna come on and talk about the
August, right
the August
before
show,
right
before Scoop Stock. Yep. I think that's an interview that I'm doing on a Tuesday. Or no, I was trying not to book anyone for like 3 weeks in August, but when I heard about their event and what the cause is for, I was like, I'll sacrifice it because I'm trying to get everything ready for that show. I'm stressing.
Oh, dude, I could kind of tell you were a little burned out. The last interview, I was like, man, Tony just seems like he's like, just like it's just everything at once.
Yeah. And then I'm trying to juggle this, like, because when I do something, I jump in both feet and I go hard.
You got it.
And then sometimes that sacrifices how we were saying before, friends and family time. Mm-hmm. And then on the weekends, like, hey, well, like this weekend I didn't go to any shows except that one. I went because I had family birthday parties and family get-togethers and stuff. And there's personal stuff going on too. I won't get into, but yeah, the first show I didn't go to like any really, like the only band I went to was No Rain Checks because I love Austin and Max. That was like their birthday show. But even in that show, I didn't really like. I just kind of enjoyed the show.
Just chilling. Yeah.
And I gotta stop. I was saying too. I have to stop singing and screaming and going crazy at shows.
Yeah, it messes with your voice, man.
Oh my god.
Well, a fun fact.
I work like for my job. I talk like on the phones.
I mean, you don't have to do it, but John Lesko from
Earplugs.
No, not earplugs. Well, you could do earplugs too. Yeah, no, but my first time when I did the Shafi Cop, yeah, the coffee shop, he was like, dude, like, I guess he just appreciated the way that I sang, but he was like, just do vocal warm-ups. And like, I started doing it, and there's like these 5-minute ones that you can go online and do, and he's like, yeah, those help a lot, or like some type of cough drops I forgot, so I gotta hit him up and be like, yo, what was the cough drops? I think my uncle does that too.
Fulton does that as well. He I think like the fisherman ones.
Yeah, those ones.
Like
the
black ones.
Yeah, my uncle Keith does that, and I was like, it smells disgusting.
They're horrible. Steve gave me, he's like, because I was like, oh, my voice is bothering me.
I mean, it clears up your throat.
Like, I've watched Steve already get a bowl. I don't want to maybe give away Steve's secret, but he had a bowl of water and fills it with ice, and then drops Vicks in it, like Vicks vapor rub, and he'll literally just submerge his face in it.
I don't know how safe that is. I don't know how that's
but like
okay.
The Vicks, like the cold water and like the Vicks, and like it hits his face, and like it just really
it like loosens,
and then he'll like steam, like steam, and he'll just like breathe in the steam.
That's a lot of preparation.
Yeah, you have to realize, like, Steve, I mean,
they do everything. They do a lot all the time.
Yeah, they're
always playing. Like they could, yeah.
Yeah. So Steve, I saw Steve do a lot of cool stuff. But yeah, there's definitely that's the thing too. Like, even listen to Howard Stern. He's like, oh, I go to bed by this time and I do this, and I'm like, what if he's missing out his whole life? But he's like, I take what I do very seriously. Yeah. Like, I protect my voice. Like, I don't want people around me that are sick, because if I get sick, I can't do this. Like, and that makes a lot of sense. Like, it's something you have to definitely look into. But yeah. So anyway, your mom's in Adrenaline.
Mm-hmm.
One uncle is in Hooligan. Then you have another uncle. I don't first names. We'll get there. But and then you have another that's in Crowbot now. Well, yeah. And I don't know if it's official, but he's helping with Crowbot as bass duties.
Yeah. And then my other uncle in Gorilla Pack, who I'm now playing with. But,
Gorilla Pack.
Technically playing with. That was a great
time. Are we missing anybody?
Nah, maybe my stepdad's in the same band as my mom, so.
Oh yeah. Adrenaline.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much all immediate family is.
I think I have a Hooligan book too.
Yeah.
I think I booked Hooligan.
Yeah, I know. Keith was like, oh, I'm gonna try to get in there. And I was like, okay, we'll do it. Just hit him up.
Yeah, I have Keith set up. The 3 bands I have now are like older, not old school bands, but they've been around a lot longer than some of the other bands I interviewed besides like Faith and Exile. But I got Hooligan, Toolshed Jack, and Adrenaline. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, I think
like the OG bands.
Yeah, it's crazy. I wish they would all do like a show together in a sense.
That would be huge.
Just I don't know if there's any differences or anything, but just put it aside. Like, if there is anything, just put it aside. It's music. You're playing music, you know?
I think, I don't know if this is the vibe, but you see, like, a lot of the younger, like, this newer generation, like...
They're building each other.
Yes.
Building upon each other, whereas I don't want to say the Hooligans, the Adrenalines, the Toolshed Jack. Like, I don't want to say that those bands in particular, but that range was definitely built upon who can it's like a competition.
Yeah.
And it wasn't as healthy, I don't think. I feel like a lot of bands were like fighting each other, and I don't know. Yeah. You know, but
I know the Toolshed Jazz have nothing good to say but the Hooligan guys. Like the Toolshed Jack guys have nothing but nice things.
Okay, I was gonna say what?
No, nothing bad. They said all nice things about Hooligan. Like, and I really liked how Hooligan left a little present for the Bad Maggie boys. Did you see that?
No.
So in Bad Maggie's first ever block party show, they got on a Saturday night at the Port Carbon block party. So the Hooligan guys, I guess, won one of the carnival things, and it was like a Rolling Stone cover of the Jonas Brothers.
That's
and they said, "Congratulations to your first block party. Many more to come.
That's so
your boys, the Hooligan guys."
Yeah.
It was awesome. Like, so I think it's maybe starting to turn around a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think it's a lot on bands.
But that would be a super show, man.
Yeah.
Toolshed Jack, Hooligan, and Adrenaline would be a super show.
Well, my mom used to play in this band Boo Boo Kitty, which was an all-girl band, and they were awesome, and they're still awesome. They did a reunion show not that long ago.
Really?
And it was literally every band that my mom was in, pretty much, because it was Boo Boo Kitty, Adrenaline, and Copper 7. I think Boo Boo Kitty played last.
Nice.
So Copper 7 was like one of the first bands that I remember, and I don't want to tell her story, but like I just remember like growing up around like Copper 7, Better Than Monday, like a bunch of other bands, and
I just wish we had a venue that took it seriously.
There's not a lot, you know, and I saw that, and I don't want to name any names because I've only played at certain places, and Coffee Shop is one where like they will promote anything that's going to happen or happening. They promote everything, and I for the longest time thought that Timmy owned it. because he just books everything there. But no, it's like a family-run thing.
The Weavers, the people on like Bob Weaver Show.
Oh,
I think it's his kids.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I used to live next to that place, I think. I'm pretty sure that's the one like down by the Coney.
Yep.
Yeah, I know.
They have their hands in prep, which is awesome.
That's so sick. It's an awesome place, and I don't like coffee that much, but lattes I'm all about. Like,
the food's good.
Blueberry crisp iced latte at Dunkin' Donuts. My friend let me in on a secret, and he works there, and he's like, dude, you're getting like 2 shots of espresso, and I'm like, really? And then I'm dying at the end of the night.
You're crashing
it
hard.
tastes amazing. But yeah, no, my mom is probably my biggest influence for music type stuff, because she was always there, and she played drums when I was a baby, or like when she was pregnant with me, she was playing in Boo Boo Kitty, and like that's dedication in itself, to be dealing with that and also still playing the drums. Like that's a lot of work. I'm like,
a nice wide stance.
Yeah, I could have been, brought out on a drum kit, like
or down.
no doctor needed. Yeah, just oh man, yeah. No, she's awesome, and she's like one of my biggest supporters for sure, and that's why it's still so weird, like doing music stuff in front of my family, because they don't hear me practice often. I mean, I'm sure like my mom and stuff, they hear me every now and then when I'm practicing upstairs, but like it's just a weird weight that goes on your shoulders randomly. I don't care about Eddie, because me and him listen to the same music, and when we hang out we jam or whatever, but no one really like taught me how to do anything. My stepdad taught me a song or two, but no one taught me like chord shapes or anything like that. I learned on my own, and that's like how our whole family, pretty much everyone learned by themselves. No one was really, and I'm not saying this in a weird way or anything, like my grandfather posts like, oh, he's taking advice. I take some advice from my family, but mostly I try to just do it myself. Yeah, because I love that they are proud of what I do, and like I write some depressing songs, and I don't want them to think that it's on them, because what a lot of families don't realize is you have a life outside of your family.
Yeah.
You have a life outside of your friends. You have like your self life.
Yeah, and I don't want people to think too, like, just from if you go back and watch the episode with Eddie and Eddie, Ed and Eddie.
He focused on my grandfather the whole time.
It's not like it was the Jacksons where they're forced into the music thing.
No.
Like, all of them had to forge their own path. But the cool thing that you have the advantage of with your family is you have the acceptance to do with that. Like, some families are like, Dad, I want to play guitar, and like, get a fucking job. You know what I mean?
No.
Where your family's like, I want to play guitar, and they're like, cool.
Yeah, cool.
You're like, oh, go downstairs, there's 6 of them down there.
Yeah, you can play this one, don't break it though. And like, oh, that was a bad thing. That happened.
Broke a guitar?
Well, it's a tiny one. My uncle used to have this Jimi Hendrix set thing, and when I was younger, I'd always be like, I want to come hang out with you and your friends in your room, and Eddie would be like, nah, you're too little to listen to music we listen to, or something like that. Just bullshit excuse. And I was like, okay, that's fine. And I went downstairs into his collection. Yeah, and I was just like, I guess he doesn't have to hang out with you guys either. And I broke the guitars, and I put them back in the tiny case. It was like a coffin case, so it was ironic to me. I was dying laughing.
Like toy guitars?
Yeah, the little toy guitars. It was like a Jimi Hendrix. He had his own stage. It was a collector's item. Oh. Yeah, it's very impressive how much I did not care back then.
Wow.
And I felt so bad about it. So like for 1 year, I really wanted to like
find them.
Yeah, and like surprise them with it, because I was just like, every now and then it pops in my head. I was like, why was I such like, I don't know, I was like a real dick. Yeah. But in the same token, he used to. The one time we were in a car together, I was like 4. He used to like he used to look at me and be like, "You're the devil." Like, you're the spawn of Satan himself. I don't know if he brought that up in the show at all. No, but like, yeah, when we were younger, we had like a weird Tom and Jerry-esque vibe about everything.
I can see Eddie like being so angry at you, but he's so chill. He's just like, you're the devil.
Yeah, I want to fight you. I cannot wait till you're older. And then, like, I don't know what happened. Turned 15, we started listening to the same music and just leveling out. But like,
yeah, I had an older cousin. Roach, and I used to sneak, I'd lift, like, he'd go up to his attic and he'd blast, like, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and I'd sit down and, like, oh, I like that. I like that music.
Oh, man. Yeah, my musical influences, other than my family, is, like, definitely Bayside, definitely Senses Fail. Hot Mulligan is a newer one. They just started, I don't know if they just started, but, like, they just started growing. This band Can't Swim, who shout out to Chris and Ches, who are, like, Chris is the lead singer, Ches plays guitar, leads in rhythm sometimes. They are a big band now. They're on Pure Noise Records, who Handguns was originally on Pure Noise Records as well. Yeah, so that was really cool. I got to meet them at a thing called Self Help Fest, which is a Day to Remember Zone festival, and I got to meet Chris. And I saw him standing there, and I was like, hey, dude, I'm sorry I missed the meet and greet. You know, could we talk for, like, a couple minutes? I just want to tell you, like, your music means a lot to me in this time. Because I was, like, 16, 17, going through some really depressing stuff. And one of the songs, the lyrics is, like, I broke into your room to see you fall to the floor, or something like that. Mm-hmm. So, like, the way that I took it was, like, oh, a friend going down a wrong path, or, like, maybe drugs or something, or dying. And, like, in that time period, I lost a lot of friends just to, I don't even know what. I'm sorry if I ruined that.
I love how people can perceive lyrics a completely different way than they were intended. Did you listen to the episode with Richard Barth?
Barth.
That was like we talked about, like, suicide and depression and stuff.
Yeah, was that in the Culture to Culture one?
No. That was just what we did here.
Okay.
So that's something I suffered with for a long time, like the depression and suicidal thoughts. Luckily, I realized I had an issue at a very young age. I never really had as many attempts as a lot of people, other people have. But my song was always, for me, it's weird now. I like to listen to the sad songs. They actually uplift me because I've tried to put it in my rearview mirror, but never. I don't try to run away from it. I always kind of let it. I always keep myself aware that it's still there.
It's still there. Yeah.
So I listen to the sad songs to, like, uplift me, to be like, I've overcome
I was in that part, but, like, I'm over that.
Yeah. So my song that I used to say was, like, my, like, it would remind me of, like, when I would think about suicidal thoughts was Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, yeah.
So for me, it was, I never had guns growing up, or, like, access to guns, which is probably a good thing.
Yeah.
Because I probably wouldn't be sitting here right now. My family just didn't have them in the house, and I had no access to any of them.
I got you.
And I always had a sense of humor, even though I was, like, super sad and depressed. Like, oh, I can just go jump off out of the attic window, but I will be the guy who will jump and be paralyzed from my nostrils.
Oh, yeah, down. That's always the thing. Yeah, no, you want to take the easy way out, but you get the hardest way out. You'll live till you're 80 with tube feeding. That was always my fear. Like, I would be the asshole who would try to do it and survive, and then I'd hate my life even more. So that was always, like, the reason I didn't, because I still kind of had a sense of humor. Oh my god,
a dark sense of humor. So anyway, Mama, I just killed a man, put a gun against his head, pulled the trigger, now he's dead. That was me perceiving myself. And then obviously the song keeps going, like, and then when my depression and suicide spiked even more, I was diagnosed with a joint disorder, so I suffer really bad with, like, joint pain and stuff like that. And when he said, like, my body's aching all the time, like, all that stuff, so that coincides. And then when he goes to hell, in the religious aspect, is that anytime you commit suicide, there's no chance of heaven in spiritual terms. So that was, like, me pleading that I wasn't a bad person, I was just going through stuff. So that was always, like, my dark song. Yeah. Hope I didn't ruin it for you.
No, dude. I don't know. I love deep conversations and shit. Yeah. And that's, like, my forte, is being depressed towards other people. I'm not depressed, but, like, having that sadness there, because there's so much that goes on in your own life that your family doesn't know. And, like, it's one thing to bring it up to them, and then it's another thing to kind of just see where life goes. Because there's times where I was like, Mom, I don't know what to do, this thing's bothering me, whatever. And she was like, oh, why'd you never tell me when you were younger? And I was just like, I just didn't know. Like, because when you're younger, especially as, like, a guy, and I'm not trying to be sexist, but as a guy, you're not supposed to talk about literally anything that bothers you.
You're supposed to suck it up and be a man.
Yeah, you're a man. You don't cry.
Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah. Another thing too, and I'm not saying this is your situation, but I think this is what happens to a lot of kids, especially when they get older, and parents are like, well, why didn't you talk to me about this before? I think because we live in a culture, and I think a lot, and I don't have a kid, I can't relate to this, but, like, people don't actually listen to their kids. They dismiss a lot what they say because they're just kids.
Or you perceive it that way when you're a kid.
Yeah, because they're like, well, I'm just a kid. No one's going to ever listen to what I'm going through. Like this, like for me, Simple Plan, I'm just a kid, like, and life is a nightmare.
Yeah.
Like, like that, like Simple Plan, Blink-182, they were huge influence on me, like Stay Together for the Kids and stuff like that. Hint, hint. Yeah, like that was a big thing. Like I think a lot of kids don't open up that way because they feel like they're not going to be accepted. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's cool. It's cool now. It sucks now as well, being able to open up about like how my parents being apart, like it got to me and stuff, or not like got to me, but like as a kid I was just like, I don't understand why this is happening. And in the same time, like my grandfather passed away, and so I was like, my grandfather on my dad's side, who was like, he cared about me and my cousins a lot. I almost said nephews, but like, he cared about me and my cousins a lot, and he would do like anything for us. He would take us everywhere. He used to take us to the junkyard. He was like the greatest person ever. So I think I learned a lot from that too at a young age, and just like losing him and then trying to deal with what was going on between my parents, and like being so young and having that encompass when you're younger, like I don't know, like 5 to 15, negativity is so amplified, and you don't understand why, but your friend's parents saying, I don't like you that much, or I don't like the way you do that, or something like that, that could really fuck you up as a kid. Yeah. And then when you grow up to be an adult, the best way to look at it is one of my favorite people ever, Dan Avidan from this band Ninja Sex Party. I don't know if you heard of them. It's Steel Panther. Yeah,
they do a lot of covers.
So the way he put it is like, once you turn into adult, you realize adults have no fucking idea what they're doing either, so it doesn't even matter what they think. And
well, I mean, I grew up in a generation with, I call it angry white boy music, where it was pretty much my generation or the generation before of just get tired of being treated and kicked aside and being treated like kids don't matter and you don't have an opinion. And then we got old enough and realized that like, well, fuck you, I don't have to listen to you. So it was a very like F the world attitude, and that resonated with me, so that I was kind of got angry. And you know what I mean, like, and I'm not saying music did that, but it just like that was my culture. You know what I mean, like punk, you know what I mean? Like, yo, listen to us. If you don't listen to us, we're going to scream until you do. You know what I mean? Like,
and it's a thing that's very prominent now, too.
And every generation's had that. So I hate when people say, this new generation's so bad. No, they're not.
They're just
you just hit a certain path, and you forget how you were when you were a kid. You know what I mean? Like, you get the 70s, like the hippies, where they rebelled. Then you had this generation that rebelled. And then you can even break it down even more, like black culture. Like hip-hop was rebellion music. White people had punk rock, which was rebellion music. Then you had certain country artists that were like rebel country, that rebelled. Like, every generation, every culture, everyone has that. And it's not that we just people just want to be accepted. They want to be heard. They want to feel like just don't dismiss everything you hear.
I don't even think it's accepted. I just think they want to be seen as equal. Because acceptance is a thing that you get from something better than you, I feel. And that's the worst way to put anything. It's not like I accept you. It's like I'm here with you. You know?
That was my biggest thing. I always search for acceptance, like with school, with family, and you know, I never really had to sit down with some of my family, but like I always felt like I never was accepted, and there was a lot of things that was said and done that made me feel that I wasn't. And then I grew up angry and chipped my shoulder and like, well, you're just a fucking bastard.
When I was younger,
I'm a bastard because you.
I feel that.
Even when I was nice, you walked all over me. So now I'm going to change my attitude a little bit, and I'm not going to let myself be that way. You know what I mean? But,
obviously, like, I think people have the ability to change, and it's whether or not they want to take that change. Because when I was younger, I dealt with stuff, you know.
And you have the ability to change someone else too. Like I always say, like with the Tim one, you can leave a legacy as soon as you walk out your door that day. If you just have a bad day and you just take it out on somebody, you could set a ripple effect that person can do something. You know what I mean? Like,
you guys said anyone could be the Joker. Like, you know, like it literally like
you can wake up one day and start a ripple effect. You know what I mean? Like,
it's so weird to me because like I don't think I'm negative towards other people. Like, I'm a very supportive person and I care a lot about people, and that's the main problem. Like, it's not a problem, but you can change someone if they're willing to change. You know, you can't change someone if they're not willing. because then that's where religion falls heavily on me, where I'm like, I appreciate the fact that you believe in something. If you're able to believe in something higher than yourself, and then also put that belief into you, go for it.
Yeah.
Like, I can't do that. I just try to believe in myself that I can be a better person than I was yesterday or this morning or whatever, and I don't try to be negative. Just sometimes I get depressed or whatever. Like, I don't even want to call it depression because I don't know what's wrong with me. I get sad sometimes and I'm just like, here's a sad Snapchat story of me being sad. And I don't always think it's real. I don't think there's really anything to be sad about. Like, my family's so supportive. Why do I feel this way? Like, why do I feel like I can't talk to anyone or whatever? And, like, maybe it's the separation of my parents. Maybe it's something else.
You feel lonely?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, that's a thing, too. But it's not like...
When you're sad, is it because you're alone, you have too much idle time?
Maybe. I try to occupy myself as much as possible, though. And I always have friends to talk to. And I always have friends to hang out with. So it doesn't make sense to me, And I don't want... Because the way that my mom is if she feels like she can't help me, or, like, anyone in my family, if they feel like they can't help you, then it's like they feel like it falls on them. And that was a big problem with me, where I was like, oh, I can't help someone, so I'm a shitty friend. And then I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm a shitty friend. And they get pissed off. Yeah. Because they're like, it's not even your life. Like, fuck you, stay out, like, it's not a part of you. And that's a big thing to realize at a young age, is, like, you can't 100% fix the world or fix someone. You can't fix things. You can build upon them. And I appreciate my mom for, like, that, in the sense. Is like, you can't make something perfect. I appreciate my dad for that, in the sense, too, is, like, life's not going to be perfect, but you have the ability to be what you want to be, or be who you want to be. And
how you were saying before, like, you can't change people, but if you radiate enough light off you in the darkness, people will flock to the light.
Yeah, they will find a better path for themselves.
And if someone stops and says to me, like, well, yeah, obviously that's how religion and stuff also spread too. Is someone took it and did the right things with it, and they're like, well, what makes you so happy? Why are you so at such inner peace? And you're like, well, this is what helped me do that. And then somebody else turns around and tries doing it too. But it's contagious. Like, positivity is super contagious, and like I said, man, if you ever need to talk, I'm always here. Shoot me a message.
I appreciate that.
Like, I'll pick you up. We'll go for a drive.
It's also the weird thing. Like, I'm 20, so I still have that young, just stupid sadness. You know what I mean? And I mean, that's nothing's too small. Like, no problem's too small. But, like, there's some things where it's like, okay, that's not exactly a problem. Like, it'll just be something so little. Like, dude, my biggest issue is I'll grab a bottle of water and bring it up to my room and drink it halfway, grab another bottle of water, and, like, that's a problem to me. That's a problem, because I'm like, I come upstairs and I'm like, oh, this water bottle is full, or this room is full of water bottles. Yeah, this giant water bottle I live in, full room. And, like, I have a problem of just, like, I can't keep my room set and clean in a specific way, and that bothers me.
That's like, clutter can cause depression.
Yeah, no, it's a big issue. Yeah, and I work on it so much, but, like, my whole thing is, like, oh, I have this YouTube channel to work on, I have this Twitch channel to work on, and I have this music stuff to work on. Oh, my family wants to do this, and I'm just like, I don't have time for my room. Yeah. Like, I just want to sleep.
Start small. Wake up and just throw away 4 bottles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fuck it. Yeah, no, I do that now.
Like, set small goals. You know what I mean? Like, for the longest time, like, even with this, I'm like, oh my god, like, this. And I'm like, you know what? Like, it'll get done. Like, this is not my side. Like, I don't push this aside, but, like, there's some days where I'm just like, all right, I gotta get editing done, but right now I need to do this now.
Yeah, no, you know like, your life is more important than your hobby. Yeah. Not hobbies, but, like, your life is more important than what's around it or what you want it to be, in a sense. You always want to strive to be better. You always want to strive to, like, take care of people. Because I see you out there, you're a very people-caring person, and that's great. Yeah. That's amazing, because we need people like you. And I'll say me, in a sense, I care about people more than I should. I always say I hate people. Yeah. Like, that's just my default, but I don't. I genuinely try to take care of them.
Just don't take on too much.
Yeah.
Because you're still working on yourself, too.
Yeah. And I do that now, because I'm so young, and that's my generation is, it's not the cry wolf, but it's more or less the I'm sad attention. You know, that's like a thing that I've had to deal with, and it's just like I don't like it. It'll
change once you hit like 20, 25, 26 when you're like
that's my friend range right now. It's 25
when your body levels out. And I'm just being honest. Like that's why they say like you shouldn't do like if they legalize marijuana, like they're gonna be like 21 and older, because your body doesn't stop developing until you're like 20, 21, like 21, 24, like between 21 and 25. Like you're still going through changes in your body and your hormones and your mental like, and that I'm not saying mental stuff will go away, but you have a better understanding of it as you get older.
See, I have like a theory that like we just never stop developing.
Yeah, you're right.
And like, because you see old people, say you're growing up, you're a tall dude, you get older, you're shorter. You know what I mean? Like you're still developing, maybe de-developing, but like you're still developing in a sense.
Terrible posture, bad choices with your back, not taking care of yourself, working on strenuous jobs.
No,
I actually hurt my back so bad one time that I went with it for like 3 years, and then I went to a chiropractor and I started like doing yoga and stretching more, and I literally went and got measured like at the worst of like my pain, and I was like 5'9", 5'10". And then but I'm like 5'11", almost 5'6" foot. And when my back got better, like I was like my height again. That's how bad it compressed my back. It was crazy.
That's insane.
So when it comes to music, what are some of your future plans, goals?
All right, cool. This is like perfect because I put a platform out there. My buddy Jeremy Boucher, he's really awesome. He's been mixing the stuff that I've been putting out currently, which is like mainly covers of stuff. And for some reason, upon like...
No, Jeremy's also a video game streamer as well.
Oh, yeah. No, he's a fucking nerd. That guy.
I like him a lot.
I love him,
I love... And this is not like... I'm this Mr. Studio Girl moment, but I love Jess.
Yeah, Jess. From she is amazing.
She is.
She's an amazing person, and I love her so... She's
in my top 10 people I love of all time.
Yeah.
Like, we used to go to the movie theater bar, and she's just such a cool person.
So, I don't know if this is too much. I want to talk about, but like, Jeremy wasn't feeling really good, the Yingling show.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because he drank or anything. Okay, I just want people to know he is responsible.
Yeah.
He takes care of himself. He got really sick for that day, and then he was sick the next day. Yeah. And I walked him home.
Yeah.
And he had lemonade in this alien cup, and because it was like I don't know why. There was a lemonade stand. You got a green alien like cup. It was pretty big, a lot of lemonade, and it was warm. And he's drinking it, and he's like, "This is warm. I need to go home." And Jess was like, "Well, I want to stay and watch the band." Like that was their plan to do something.
Yeah.
So I understand why she was upset at him or whatever. But I was like, I'll walk him home. He's my boyfriend now. And we're walking home, and this car drives past, and I don't think this is too much, but they yelled to us, and they're like, "Bet you two butt fuck each other too." And I was just like, all the time. And Jared's like, and I was just like, this is amazing. I'm sorry, Jeremy, if you didn't want me to tell that story, but it was great.
I keep telling Jeremy, but I think it's one of those things where, listen, when I talk to people in the bar, especially when it comes to like project stuff, I pick and choose who I pick because I don't want them because I'm very high energy, so people probably think I'm probably intoxicated. And then I'm the same way. If someone comes to me in their hammer like, "Dude, I want to be on your podcast," I'm like, "Cool, man, message me in the morning." Right?
Yeah.
But I always tell him, like, dude, I would love to like guest spot on him with one of his streams. So if you guys stream, I would love to come and play a game.
That would be great. I think he would enjoy. His whole thing is like, and I've told, okay, I'm not calling him out.
Yeah.
Hypothetically, I've told him, dude, come on the show with me tonight. And he was like, I have plans to do. His plans fell through, and he had other stuff that he wanted to get done.
I want him on things that weren't cool in high school.
Yeah.
And come talk about his gaming channel and stuff like that.
Yeah. He would be so great. I think his thing is...
Every Wednesday, I always have a seat or two open. You're always welcome.
I'm going to try to get him to come on. I'm going to try to get him to have you, not sponsored, but like guest spot on one of his streams. Because what we want to do, essentially, is like we're working together for a lot of shit. Like, we've become so close. I used to be best friends with his brother, Caleb, in elementary school.
Yeah.
And then something happened. We didn't grow apart. Like, he just has his own thing that he's doing. He's friends with my cousin or whatever, and they work or whatever together. And so one day, it was like either Independence Day or 4th of July or something, I talked to Jeremy, and he was like, yeah, I started streaming. He was talking to my uncle, and I was like, oh, dude, I play Rocket League too, or something like that. And then we started streaming together, and we just built upon it, and we built like this empire pretty much of like music and streaming. And it's
that's when I get my shit together and I get the next stage of equipment. Like I have like my donation goal and my goal and the money I put away goal. But that like I want to upgrade the camera, I want to upgrade microphones, and I want to make it. I have to. Elgato makes not only the game capture screen, but they make something. It's like another capture.
It's a stream deck. If that's what you're referring to.
No, just a little box. The Elgato where you plug plug everything in the system. But I also want to get it's another Elgato thing where you plug DSLR cameras into it, and it turns them into a webcam.
Oh, okay. So it's like a converter almost.
Yeah. So there's two different streaming things I want to get, but we want to start doing like streams, like where we do like banging beers, or we do things that weren't cool in high school. Like maybe do an episode on a Saturday night, get a bunch of people, because I have an original Xbox. Probably shouldn't say this if on the stream. We just couldn't show the controllers, but I bought an original Xbox on eBay, and the Xbox is modded. And it has pretty much every Xbox title on it. So it just
has like emulated pretty much?
It's like a giant emulation, and it has every system from like Atari all the way up to like that Xbox generation.
That's so sick.
Yeah, like all the arcade beat 'em ups.
And that's, people that, I don't know, people that are actually upset with that I think that's a problem.
Yeah.
Like emulation's not awful because you don't know how long it took someone to code something to even get to there. So the simple fact that we were able to decrypt files or grab files from a certain way. Like, yeah, it's kind of shitty, slightly illegal, maybe, I don't know. Like, but it's just...
Let me go out and run out and buy one of those games that still physically works and one of those systems, and then, you know what I mean? And not...
If you're going to talk... Like, if you're going to be so mad about emulations, you should be mad about the consoles that are 1 in 100, and it's just stealing titles, and it's the same 10 titles every now and then. One's a Mario clone, the other one's a Mario clone. Like, be mad at that.
And even if I go and buy it, the company's still not getting any money because it's so old that they're not getting they're not reaping any of the benefits. It's all third party anyway.
Yeah, it's weird. Gaming's a weird thing. Honestly, though, I'm gonna haggle Jeremy into like talking.
What days do you guys usually stream?
Every day. It's usually later because he works during the day. So we usually stream really late at night. I still don't have a normal sleep schedule. I went to bed today at like 5 a.m. Woke up at 12 p.m. Oh, wow. Yeah, so I slept for like 4
you ever stream like Sunday nights?
Yeah, we stream on weekends every now and then too.
So like I work, my days off are Sunday, Monday. So like Sunday night I usually have nothing going on.
See,
and to stay up late on a Sunday and then sleep in on Monday is not a big deal.
Jared's whole thing, and I love him so much, like I don't think he cares that I say that. Like he knows that I love him as like he's like my bro now. Like we've put in so much towards the music thing together, and I've helped him a lot, and I'm not even trying to brag. I'm not trying to take away from him, but like, so for his birthday this past year, I gave him a guitar that I stopped using because he wanted to be able to record on his own, and I was just like, dude, it's really expensive. You have a house to take care of. I'm still, I still live with my parents, so I'm still fine. I can still fucking find money somehow or some way. So I was like, I gave him my guitar, and he was like forever grateful for that. But like anything that will benefit our recordings and future recordings, I'm forever endowed to that dude. Yeah, his mixes are beautiful. Like the way he can get instruments to sound, the way he can get drums to sound that are just plug-in drums. And I'm not taking away from real drummers, but like the way that he can get everything to sound so close to the real thing and it not being exactly there yet. Like until we can record that shit, like it's just amazing. And I want him to be on this podcast so bad because I think he has a great story to tell. Like Drive Me Wild is about things that people probably don't perceive, but it's about several things. It's such a great song, and some people were like, oh, it's kind of repetitive, and he's like, that's the whole thing. Point. That's the point. You Drive Me Wild, it's over and over again, and each time it has a different meaning. Could be about a girl, could be about addiction or a depression or anything driving you a certain way. And I'm not I don't want to take away from his thing. He's gonna go in about it if he gets on this podcast, but I think it's really important that people give that song a listen and just check out his stuff, his page, and everything.
Where can we find it?
Jeremy Boucher Music is a Facebook page right now. You could just add him on Facebook too. I'll give you a link and stuff. Then
I think we're friends. I don't know if I'm on the page. Do you have a YouTube page yet set up?
Not for that. I think he just has like the Jeremy Boucher YouTube page. It's just his name. Everything's just his name because we were like sitting there when we were trying to do our band thing with just the two of us recording stuff. We were trying to figure out names. We couldn't get anything. Like we just had nothing. In everything that we land on, one of us would be indecisive about, which is not like a bad. Like it doesn't say that we don't agree with each other 100%. Because in music, that was the best for us, that we were so indecisive about like figuring out what would be the perfect thing, and we kind of just clicked musically, you know. So, but name wise, we couldn't click at all. Like we, I don't want to give away any of our names, but one of them was Undersold.
Undersold.
Yeah, undersold, but like a soul, you know. So it was like undersold, and it was gonna like the whole thing was gonna be like it's gonna be like a grave, and then a kid wearing like a. I don't want to give it away, but
you know who would be an awesome person to help you with logo design? Haley Stokes.
Yeah, Haley Stokes. Yeah.
A lot of bands are starting to
Look Alive.
She's awesome.
Did she do Mahantungo, or was Mahantungo
she's working with. I don't know if I should say it, but I'll say off camera. She's working with two other bands.
Okay. Around the area. Yeah. I could get a general idea of who it is.
Two of them. You know very well.
I know very well? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they might have been talked about already on the show.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
But yeah, so we'll put all the links. After this is done, send me all the links. So we'll put them in the description below for Jeremy stuff, your stuff.
I definitely wanted to give him the biggest, him and my mom, I wanted to give the biggest shout outs to, because Jeremy has been a huge supporter of my music and just
Where do you guys stream at?
I stream from my house. He streams from his house.
I mean, like Twitch.
Oh, Twitch. Yeah.
Twitch.
I was like, we stream. He's streaming from
Twitch,
like
YouTube, Mixer.
Yeah. Twitch mainly. Twitch is the best streaming platform, and I know I was talking to you about it, and you were like saying how it's a mainly gaming platform, but I think it would be best. Not best for you, but like I think it would be a good move as well to
Twitch
stream there as well. Yeah, because you can multi-stream as well.
And not with this fucking thing.
No, well, not Audacity. Yeah, no.
I'm saying this computer would just break if I tried to multi-stream.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah,
it used to be a strong computer, but it gets really hot sometimes.
Well, that's another reason that I want Jeremy to like. I just want you guys to meet.
Yeah,
like have like a formal meeting. I'm sure you've met before at shows and stuff, but he's not like out in public. He's not the most introverted person, so like I've always been that friend.
Like if I get the streaming guy, I would need all the help in the world.
He's definitely when he was listening to the podcast, he was like, I need to figure out, like, I need to go there and figure out how I could help. Like, he's like, I really want his to go well because what he's doing is so great, but there's this little things, you know.
Listen, I don't know how to use any of my boards when it comes to, like, you know what I do for the editing? In the very beginning when I do the thing,
you just do the noise reduction.
Get rid of the noise. Yeah. Then I normalize the audio, and then I'm done.
Yeah, I got you.
I don't know any other cool steps to, like.
So my best friend, Gavin, who I do the YouTube stuff with, we play games and stuff. Currently, we're doing the Super Mario Maker series because that just came out.
And then my video editing is a generic little program because I'm not paying $60 a month.
I mean, I would gladly help you out. If anything, where it was like you needed time, I would definitely punch in the time to do that because it's just, like I said, anything to occupy myself, I'm all about it. And it's just so much fun. Like, video editing is fun when it's something you don't have to do. Yeah. You know what I mean? And essentially, in your case, you're doing this all yourself, right? You're doing, like, literally you record. He had to hit record on the laptop and then on the camera, you know, so there's no synchronizing until we should have synchronized the video.
Yeah, I want to. Yeah.
Shit.
Well, the thing is, even with editing on this computer, it doesn't play smooth all the time during the re-editing process. So, like, for me to try to get it perfectly in sync each time doesn't always work because my computer it's just not running the way it should run. I use
Sony Vegas, and that's what my friend uses, Adobe Premiere, which is a really good
I would love to use it. I just don't have the money.
He has the money. He's great. You know, he's my best friend. I've known him for years and stuff, and like he has the drive to do things, but when it's not there is when there's like a difference in our friendship.
Mm-hmm.
Or not even a difference, but like we get argumentative with each other, and I'm just like, come on, man. Like, and he's the same way with me. Like when I'm not there, he's like, why don't you want to fucking record anything? You know, like why don't? So we started really hammering down on recording and editing, and I've started to pick up a lot more because he used to do like all the editing himself, and I feel like a dick for like not making him, but letting him do like everything.
So the first couple videos we did the editing for, Nikolai did.
Okay.
And then I was like, well, Nikolai, I was like, you have dreams that are not the same dreams I have for the podcast.
Do you mind if I get a drink? I'm gonna listen, but I just want to get a drink real quick. You can keep talking.
So I told him, I was like, you have different goals in mind than I do. So if you were to no longer be able to do this with me, I would be stuck when it comes to editing and stuff like that. So I have to learn. So I went out and bought all my own stuff, all my own edits, like, you know what I mean? And I'm slowly teaching myself. Like, he went to school for a lot of this stuff, and he has really good equipment, really good programs. He has the Adobe. So, like, a lot of the stuff, like, the thank you for watching, he made. Like, I wouldn't know how to make that little graphic, you know, like, stuff like that. So there's a lot of stuff that I'm still learning, and that's why I always tell people, like, if like donations or anything helps,
suggestions, donations,
suggestions, donations,
anything,
the whole nine.
You know, if you know programs, and like, so here's my whole thing that frustrated me, especially starting YouTube, because I started in like 2012, 2013 when I was just like a kid. All I would do is me and Gavin would record skits together with our friends. Just like, not even like skits, just us being stupid pretty much. Literally, there was a video at one point in time where I have like a toy gun or something. I'm just like, I hate leaves, or leafs. I said leafs, not leaves. I was like, I hate leafs. And I started hitting this leaf with a fucking gun, and I was like, I don't know why I'm emphasizing it with like that, but that's how I said it in the video. And I'm just like this chubby kid smashing a gun on like a leaf, and it's just like, I don't understand the purpose of this video, but it was funny to us back then, you know.
Well, you even go back, like anyone who you idolize, like I have a lot of inspiration from Howard Stern, from Joe Rogan. Go listen to Joe Rogan's first 100 episodes.
Oh my god.
They sound terrible.
Well, yeah, I think, like, he didn't know what to talk about all the time. So, and even, like, I didn't know what we were going to talk about. I'm sure you didn't know. You had an idea. Like, the music thing was obviously going to be part of it, but it's just like...
I build off conversation and come up with questions on the fly, you know what I mean? Like,
and that was also something that, like, a lot of my friends don't have... Like, a lot of my friends are introverted people.
A lot of mine are too, because I see people that are introverted and I'm like, man, I try to bring them out.
Yeah. That's how I am. Like, my best friend, like, I love him so much, and I just wish he'd get out there. And it's just like, for him, is just not his scene in like a crowd of people. We went to Comic-Con together, and it got to the point where he had a panic attack. This is gonna be a great story. He had not like a real panic attack, but he was like, dude, I just need to get the fuck away from people. Like, there's just too many people.
Comic-Cons are weird, man. It's a lot of people, and for some reason,
it's always cringy.
It's cringy. It's cringy, and I don't know if if just some people smell.
Thank you.
I'm not good at. Thank you. I'm not good with bad smells.
I hope I don't smell bad, because that'd be ironic. I was like, don't tap on the table. And
you don't smell bad. No, but I went to a Comic-Con one time, and all the vendors bring like stuff from like their grandmother's attic. Yeah. So it smells like an old attic mixed with smelly people.
Just spray it down with something. You have bags over it. Spray the bag. Like, come on.
But so it's like a mixture of like an attic mixed with like body smell.
Axe.
Yeah. Not even Axe. It just dirty butt.
Everywhere I go, I get Axe, bro. Really? I just get like all Axe chocolate. You know, remember the chocolate Axe spray that like they had that thing where it like turned into a chocolate man? Yeah. It was like, I think one of the slogans was like, so much they'll take a bite out of you or something like that. And I was like, that sounds awful.
The first con I went to was in Pittsburgh, and I said, oh man, that's got me excited. I hope there's like some hot girls cosplaying. Never. It's always the ones you don't want to know. Like it's some dude who's just like, I'm gonna wear like skin tight Robin suit.
Chung-Li.
I'm like, dude, I see your dick, bro. Like,
I mean, there is a weird appreciation for it, though.
Yeah.
Any dude that'll crossplay, like, I have appreciation for it. Like, I've worn skirts before. Like,
Andy is a beast.
I love
Andy
it.
Header,
I love it so much.
Yeah. I don't know. Where's that on my fridge? All right, you see right there the Mrs. Claus.
Okay.
In the dress with the heels and the leggings.
Yes.
That's Andy.
He's a babe. He's the babe. That's like
he goes to Comic-Con every year and he does.
I love
his
it.
First day he does like a wrestler.
Yeah,
Second
didn't he
day,
do Wonder Woman?
He does a chick character every year.
Oh my god, I love it.
He did Wonder Woman, Harley, She-Hulk.
Dude, I don't know why. Maybe it's just all the weird shit that I watched as a kid. Like, I was always like, not cross-dressing, but like if any time I could wear like a skirt or something, I'd be like, yeah, like, why not?
Fuck
like,
it.
Yeah, this is cool to me. Like, this is weird, but it's cool to me. Like, I always loved AFI. Their singer is such a weird dude.
Yeah.
And for the longest time, I was like, is it a chick? So I always wanted to have that mentality of like, maybe I could just shave, dress like a chick, and trap my friends for one day. Like, just send them pics and be like, yo, what do you think? Oh my god. Okay, so last night, I was streaming with one of my buddies, and I was like, dude, I'm going to have this one girl that I've been talking to. She's really good at, like, visual, like, not VFX, but, like makeup and stuff. And I was going to be like, yo, I'm going to get her to give me a wig and dress me up and make me look cute as shit, all right? And then I'm going to send pictures to my friends and be like, hey, what do you think about this chick? I know one won't fall for it.
Yeah.
Like, I know for a fact.
I don't really get... I'm not too much... Like, I'm on YouTube, but I'm not at all into the YouTube community. Like... I watched this video the other day, like, oh, the top videos of YouTube all time, and they're videos I didn't even know existed, like, and they're the most viral videos. Like, I don't really get into like the trends on YouTube because what I'm interested in is not what's popular on YouTube.
Oh no, that's
and like even gaming streaming. Like, I don't really watch too much game streaming. Only because I just don't know who I would watch yet. And, like, you know, I try to watch a few people, or those people that walk around and video blog, and I'm like, it just comes off really annoying to me.
It doesn't seem real.
Yeah.
It does. It seems like scripted to a sense.
Yeah.
And
so like everyone's like, oh, Ninja, and I was like, can't watch him. He doesn't do it for me. And then there's like the kid with the shaved head who's always screaming and punching doors. Like, I can't watch him.
Oh my
either.
god, Tyler won.
Yeah.
Oh, my best. Okay, my friend's brother. He is like hilarious. Because he knows like all about these Twitch streamers, and then he'll just link us a video and be like, "Look, it's you," or like, "It's one of you guys playing." Like,
I was on a stream one time, and I didn't know I was on one until halfway through. So I used to play Fortnite on PlayStation 4 because I used to play with Fulton.
Yeah.
So the one day Fulton's like, "Oh, I'll be on in a minute." I was like, "All right, I'll play a couple games without you." So I was playing, and I just ran a duo, and I was like, "I'll just do a random duo," and I always had my headset in because I like talking to people, but no one ever uses the you know what I mean? So all I hear is this dude's like, "Hey man, what's up?" I was like, "Not much." He goes, "You new to Fortnite?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "I can tell you your character." And then all of a sudden, like the top corner of my system is going bling 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 bling. I'm like, dude, what is happening?
Oh, did you get like a shit ton of friend requests?
Yes. And I was like,
my god, that's awesome.
I was like, what's happening? He goes, "Oh man, I'm so sorry. I didn't block out your name." I was like, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "I'm streaming." He goes, are you into streaming?" I'm like, I know about it, but I don't really watch. He goes, "I have like 50,000 followers. So all these people are messaging me like, dude, I can't believe you're on his stream. You're on this stream." Like, I got all these friend requests.
Like, I don't know this fucking guy.
And I played a game with him, and then he died. Like, he died first, and then I was like, "All right, take it easy, man. Hey, good playing with you." And then I was still getting messages like, "Yo, I can't believe you were on his stream." And I was like, I don't even know who he is.
Wow.
But like, he has 50K people that follow him.
Awesome.
But yeah, so I gotta find someone to start streaming. But like, here's the cool thing that I want to do with this podcast too, is I just like bring awareness to this stuff. So obviously, more people now know about a lot more local bands because of this. Now I have Haley, which she opened the door to hopefully more artists in the area.
Dude, there is so many talented artists. Like one dude came in. I want to promote him because he was a really genuine guy. And so let me just... I'm sorry if this is... I don't want to be too long.
No, you're good.
Almost.
I'm just worried about your ride home.
No. I have... Yeah, that'll be fine.
But while you're pulling it up, like local stuff, like we have walk-in art centers, we have the Block of Art in Pottsville. The Majestic Theater has such cool stuff going on.
I want to get down to the Majestic Theater, but I've never...
I was actually talking to the lady who runs it on during Brewfest, not Brewfest, Yingling's thing, the Yingling 190th, and I was like, yeah, I do a local podcast. Like, I was actually plugging a lot of you guys on for the Majestic. She goes, cool, you should come and set up and do something. And I'm like, man, I'd love to, but these fucking microphones I can't do like on locations, because if I'm in a room bigger than this,
it picks up everything.
These microphones are horrible, like, and it sucks. I'm starting to make connections, but I can't do anything because I need like a more of a dynamic mic, so it only picks up me. But there's so much cool stuff out there, man. Like, I want to get more of it out there. But yeah, so like video game streaming. I had already one guy that came on things that weren't cool in high school, talked about his video game streaming. Get you and Jeremy on. Cheesefoot and Meatball used to do game streaming.
Oh my god,
like there's so many. Them. Like we can get a community of just local people that game stream. Like if we all show each other support and mix each other's audience, we can grow together. You know what I mean? Like
I'm gonna have to send you like pictures and link to that guy's Instagram. Yeah. My phone's being bugging out on. It's like certain apps won't work, but like me and Cheesefoot. Oh my god. They're my favorite people.
Yeah.
I asked Cheesy, I surprised my coworker with tickets to see Census Fail.
Yeah.
But I got VIPs. I only got 2 tickets because they're fucking expensive, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and so I hit Cheesy up and I was like, hey, do you want to come with us? And I didn't. And he replied to me, and I feel like I forgot to reply back. Like I just now realized. Cheese, yeah, hey, yeah, we still want you to go, but I told him like, yeah, I got the VIPs. I don't know how many are left at the time, and I'm so excited because it's the Census Fail. It's the re-release of their album From the Depths of Dreams. So they're re-recording it or remixing it or something, but they're gonna play the entire album in full. And they're playing with Hot Mulligan, and these guys are awesome. Like, you said you like sad white boy music. You might dig these guys.
Yeah?
Yeah, they're...
Like, my favorite band in the area right now is Montango.
Yeah.
Like, that's my style of music.
I love it, yeah. Funny story. I don't know if I could even talk about it. I don't know if they want me to. Because the whole thing, like... So, I was, like, 16 when they were still not young at heart. Strength and Allies.
Strength and Allies.
I don't know why Young at Heart popped into my mind, because I think George or one of them helped them out or something like that. And so, when they were Strength and Allies, I was still young, but I still played guitar. And so... So I was originally going to be like Austin's backup, like guitar, like the guitar. Yeah. And then they were like, they got Tyler, and I was like, oh, Tyler. Oh, like Tyler, and then I met Tyler, and I was like, "Oh, you're cool. I can't not like you, yeah. Like, I can't be jealous. Like, he's an awesome dude too. Is he your cousin, right? Tyler Smart.
Well, he's only filling in for Austin when he's.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like, I was supposed to be the fill-in. He's not your cousin.
No, we just kind of. Oh. Like, I met him through Bad Magazine.
I thought you guys were cousins.
No, we just always go to shows together. Like,
my god,
that's my concert buddy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
Do we look like we should be cousins?
I just thought so, because you guys always hanging out and talking together, and I'm like, you guys are like
we
related
meet up a lot,
or something.
hang out. Yeah, like I brought him to the Crowbot show, and he was so excited.
Yeah, he was. I think he was in a band with one of my cousin Will's friends.
He's a good guitarist.
He's a really good guitarist. That's why I was so upset when I realized that he was going to be the one doing it, because like for so long they sent me a lot of their stuff before they recorded it as just MIDI files. So I was like learning those, and they sent me like a pre-finished
What's your favorite song
version.
on the album?
It's really hard. I like is that you, John Wayne?
Yeah,
it's me. Yeah, that's
mine's
my favorite one, because like
Better Now.
I love the fuck yeah, that's my shit.
Yeah,
I love playing that. Oh man, I love Liam in general, and I don't talk to those guys much as I would like to, and I think it's just because like, not like friend group thing, but like they have lives.
Yeah.
So it's like, but anytime I see Brett, he gives me a hug, and like I grew up with Brett and Eddie and all them, so like it's really cool.
They're cool dudes, man.
Liam is very interesting because he's like. The way that his personality is, he has that very front man mentality, in the sense that like he's very shy in person, you know, as opposed to like off stage and on stage. Like on stage, he's fucking amazing. Like he can talk about whatever, but I think off stage, he's like, I need to be quiet.
Yeah,
my name is Liam.
Yeah, I like that band a lot. So yeah, anything that we didn't cover, you want to talk about?
Man, it's just, I don't know. I just love this podcast, honestly.
I appreciate it.
I love the terrain episode so much.
Oh, God. That was my least favorite.
Why, man?
Not because of him. It just...
What's your favorite Black Mirror episode?
Right now?
Yeah, Black Mirror.
Ooh. I just watched the Miley Cyrus one. That one was really good.
Oh.
But I like the one with where the guy goes in the
You're not even realizing what I said, did you?
Black Mirror.
Black Mirror.
Did I say Mayor?
No, I said Black Mirror. Yeah, because that was like the whole thing.
Yeah, Black Mirror.
I was like, oh my god.
So what happened on that episode is Ben showed up 13 seconds before we hit live.
Yeah.
Drunk. And,
I love him, dude.
And Ben is very introverted. That's slowly coming out.
Yeah.
But doesn't realize when he says some things that he can get himself in trouble. Spoiler alert! Remember the guy I said that can get himself in some trouble?
Yeah, that's the guy.
Ben.
Okay,
that's Ben.
All right.
Oh,
no.
Superman was made by Jews. Well, explain, you know what I mean?
Explain. Well, in 1950, that was amazing, though. That's so it's this thing where it's not coming from any bad
it's
place.
Not.
No,
but if you don't know him, it's people are like, what the fuck you mean by that? You know what I mean? Terrain read it very, very good.
I love Terrain.
I love him too.
He's an interest. I thought he hated me for the long time.
Really?
when I was younger, I would say stupid stuff that it was obviously racist on accident. I was just 12 saying something that's racist.
That you heard on South Park,
yeah,
was
probably,
funny.
And I thought it was funny. I was gonna be like, "Hey, Terrain, token joke." I don't know. And Terrain was not having it, and he was like, "I don't like this kid" or something. But I think that's also just Terrain's personality. Is until you know him, it's with anyone until you know them. That's just how it comes off. And I really like Terrain. I like his podcast. I don't want to plug it because he already plugged it, but Alcoholics with Terrain Myrick's
hopefully I'll be on there soon.
Oh man, I would love to see you guys. I thought it was really cool to see the chemistry between two podcasters.
Yeah, I do.
I don't know if that's the word. Is that the term?
Yeah, I'm open for more. So I'm going to do another episode with another podcast. The Murder My Dude guys are going to come on.
I keep hearing you talk about them, and I really got to listen. See,
it's awesome.
My podcast is Harmontown. I don't know if you know Harmontown. You know Rick and Morty?
Yeah.
The co-creator was Dan Harmon, and he has his own podcast.
Oh, okay.
And so in the beginning, they play D&D all the time. At the end, they do a 30-minute dungeon run, which shout out to my cousin Will for bringing me into the D&D group because...
I tried. I can't do it.
What? Really?
I don't know yeah.
It's just so much fun.
The closest I ever got to a D&D, we played a game called Night of the... Chulu or Cthulhu or I don't know. It's like this
Night
game.
of Cthulhu.
Yeah, and it's you have to roll the dice and you pick your characters and fight monsters and put them back in portals.
That's pretty awesome. I'm trying to think. I think I know what you're talking about. Something of Cthulhu. It might be Night of Cthulhu.
Yeah. So we played it and everyone's like, you got to kind of play you kind of role play a little bit. And I was like, all right. I'm like, well, I'm gonna be the homeless dude. Right, so on the whole time they're like, "Yo, you get to come fight this monster." I was like, "Fuck that!" Yeah. I went around and just collected all the money, and then I would find these power ups, and the power ups were used to help close portals. So and they'd be like, "Yo, Tony, we need your power up."
So you were aiming for endgame, pretty much.
Yeah. So I was like, "You want this power up?" And yeah, I'm like,
"Give me some gold."
$3.
Yeah.
And they're like, "All right, that's a deal." So my goal, I'm a homeless dude. I'm role playing.
You're just playing Monopoly.
Yeah,
you're just playing Monopoly. I'm not sure.
I don't care if the world ends. I'm homeless. I'm just trying to get money.
I'm just trying to get Boardwalk.
So that's how I played the game, and people didn't think I was playing it right, but I thought I had a great time. But yeah, so I'm doing a podcast with them, and then actually the dude from the Murder My Dude podcast is actually going to be a permanent fixture on Tornado Tech podcast.
That's
now.
Awesome.
So I don't want I want people to work together and come in and talk to other stuff. I'd love to do an episode with the dude from Cole Region Campfire Story guy.
Steve.
Yeah.
That's funny. What's his? I can't remember how to.
He's a very Italian last name.
Valansky, or something like that.
Yeah, he has a really really big Italian last name.
He is. I knew him before the podcast. When my mom's was in early adrenaline stage with her. We moved into a house, and he would come over the house and hang out when Adrenaline was practicing or whatever.
Nice.
And he used to have rocker dude hair, like the Steel Panther. He used to have longer hair. I'm pretty sure. If I'm remembering it wrong, I'm pretty sure he looked like a Bret Michaels at some point. I could be wrong.
You might be.
But
we'll find out.
I remember he used to come to the house all the time and talk, and he's a really cool dude. And he's still really cool.
There may be even more podcasts in our area that I don't know about, and I want to find out. And I want to plug you guys. I want to work together. Let's have some fun.
There's a lot in this. There's a lot of streamers that I didn't know were from this area, or I didn't even know were streamers. People that were streamers, and it was really cool to me and Jeremy kind of got engulfed in this weird community in a sense, and then we really broadened it when a lot of musicians that I knew started streaming, because I was like, well, I could help you out, and then they would host me.
Yeah.
So I would have this dude that I look up to as a musician hosting me playing video games as a gamer, and it's
But you can only do that on Twitch? Host?
You could host on Twitch. I don't think you can host on YouTube.
No. Because when I was streaming, I was using Mixer. The only reason I like Mixer because there's no latency between the chat and the game.
That you could use it on Xbox, and it's super easy.
That's what I use a lot.
The UI, a lot of problems that people have with like streaming software, recording software is like it looks like so much like Audacity. It's kind of simple, like visually simple. But then actually going in and then figuring out what everything does, you just gotta mess around with it pretty much to figure it all out. And so what I use to record now is Reaper, hypothetically, legally. No, I have this thing called Studio One. Sadly, I did use Reaper for a little bit, and I was like, I kind of like it, but it's still a lot to handle, and I really want to pay for it. Like, there's a lot of things where I'm like, I can't afford this right now, but once I can, I'm going to buy it.
Yeah, same here.
And sometimes a 5-day trial is not enough, because that trial runs when you're not using it. And it's like, it's kind of bullshit. Yeah. And it should be like games used to be on 360 days online, where you get
10 hours.
Yeah, 10 hours, and it only accumulated over the time you were playing. Yeah.
I fucked up the one time. This is the old Madden, and I got Madden, and I was like, fuck, I go do something, and I paused the game and left and came back and lost my 10 hours. I was pissed.
No.
But yeah, man, if there's anyone that you know that's into something, send them my way. We'll get them on here.
My buddy Jack should definitely come on here. He's in college right now. I wanted to pick up on No Rain Checks. I don't know if you're trying to kick me out. No, I'm just joking. I know it's getting kind of late, but like, I wanted to pick up on No Rain Checks because Jack actually knows Max, and their base is Austin. I used to go to his house every now and then because my friend Jake and this dude Justin. The only reason I'm not saying last names is because I'm not sure how people feel. I don't want to like do anything like that and hurt their feelings or have them be like, yo, dude, I don't want to be in the public eye or whatever. But
I love Austin to death.
Austin's really cool. I used to go to his house after me and my friends Jake and Justin. We would go to Justin's basement and learn songs, and we picked 3 songs. I think one was a Rush song, and one was American Football. Honestly, I don't know if you ever listened to that. That's some emo music. And then I picked Hawthorne Heights, and this was right before Eddie joined Japan 4, because he was teaching Jake guitar lessons, and Jake's a really cool kid, and he's in college now, so we don't hang out as much. We like rarely talk, and it's like it's weird how school does that to you. But I know that he's like one of those people where if I saw him, like there's so many people in
pick
life,
right back up where you left off.
Back up, and that's how my buddy Jack is, and Jake, and like all my friends are really cool people, and that's like I say I have acquaintances, because my friends are the people that I don't talk to every day. You know, I have those exclusive friends like Jared. He's a really good friend. I talk to him all the time. My buddy Gavin, I talk to him every now and then too. And sometimes I just like need a break from people. So that's when I go into those states of being like by myself, right? And then sometimes it just succumbs me and it gets like
don't stay there too long.
You know? Yeah. And it's like, all right, I had enough here, you know. Like, and it's just like I don't know. I really think, like, before we end, I know it's getting close there. I can feel it. I think it's going to end on a good note, hopefully. But I think that you should really bring yourself into a friend group of people that try as much as you or care as much as you do. Because I tried so hard for the longest time just to fit in with, like, people that I didn't know. And it wasn't even worth it. Because those people aren't there.
I would say the same thing, except I would say surround your people if you're a creative person and you want to create and you want to put something out there and you want to work hard, put yourself around other people who have that same mentality and that same drive.
That's how Jeremy, like me and Jeremy just were like, dude, I want to do this music thing. I don't know about it. And I was like, do it. And then he'd be like, you do this then. And then we just kind of like push each other into these areas. And I would connect with, I know a lot of like successful musicians that are not from around here. And it's luckily a little bit from my family and a lot from just me shooting them a message on Facebook or like reaching out to someone. Like, because yeah, it's weird to be like, hey, I love your band, check out my band. Don't do that. Don't do that. Like, I know you want to spread the word, but like just have a genuine conversation. Be honest. Be like, hey, dude, I really look up to you. you inspired a lot of my sound. If you have time, check this out. You don't have to.
Yeah.
Or don't even include the music thing until later on. Like,
Yeah.
And that's so weird. It's like a weird strategy thing where you're like throwing the pawn out there, and you're just like, man, I don't play chess often. But it's
my first experience ever with Culture to Culture is they needed someone to go up and talk, and I went up and I did my little testimonies talking, and I went to get off stage, and this is the time that I went on social media, and I just went on Facebook Live, and I sat just by myself, and I did like a quick little 15-20 minute video.
I love when you do that.
And I was just like, I want to do more of it. I want to start doing it where I showcase, like, obviously interviews are good too, but not many people want to sit for a 2-hour interview, and I understand that.
Yeah,
but I
so
like making like the quick 10-5-minute videos and just saying, hey, so this is the thing I want to plug today. Go check out Farlow's subs. You know what I mean? Something like that. And make like a quick video, tag them. Here's our social media pages, or go check out this video game streamer. So I want to start doing that more with all 4 channels. Yeah. Like, hey, here's a cool wrestler. Go check this guy out. He's an indie guy. Or go check out this show. Anything like that. I want to start doing that more. I think that shows good camaraderie. So anyway, I did that with Culture to Culture. I made a video, and then I showed up there, I think 2 Fridays later. And I was getting, people were shooting me looks like, oh shit, there's that dude. And I think I was wearing my interview shirt, but I don't remember, or a hoodie, because it was cold at the time. I was wearing my hoodie. So I went up and I just did a testimony, and I went to walk off stage, and I didn't plug the podcast at all. And as I was getting to walk off, Pastor Vinny's like, wait 1 second. And he goes, do you know what the definition of being humble is? And I went, I would like to hope so. And he goes, I would say you are that. I'm like, thank you, I appreciate that. He goes, nobody else in this room knows this but a few people that work here, of who you are and what you do. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, you went up here and you just talked, and you bought into what we're doing, and you came up here genuinely to support what we're doing and talk about the topic of tonight, and you didn't come up here to plug. I was like, no, not at all. And I went to walk off, and he goes, now I want you to go up and plug what you're talking about. And ever since that day, they're like, hey, come in and set up a podcast, or come in and talk to us, like, come in and help host tonight, or come in here and just like be a part of it.
And that's the main issue that a lot of people struggle with that are starting out, is because they're looking for that. They're looking towards the consumption of like other people, and they're looking for the attention, you know. And when you're just doing it to do it, that's when you're really gonna grow. And I think for my music, I'm just doing it because it's very cathartic. Yeah, you know, a lot of the stuff that I write about are stories that life experiences that I've had, or like from perspectives of friends that I had, or you know, just like the loss of a friend or something like that. And people have heard the demos of some of my songs, and they're just like, wow, it's you singing, like, you know. And the thing is, like, when you're so genuine about something, and when you strive to do something and you work for it, it's going to come out the best that it can. When you're not genuine about it, it's going to come out as, oh, you're just doing this. You're just doing this to show off. There's a lot of bands that do that, and I don't know if it's in the area. I don't like. I go out, and I'm not saying that I don't go out for any reason. I mean, you know, I don't drive, you know, but I always want to. Anytime that my friends going somewhere, anytime that my uncles are going somewhere, I'm like, hey, I go to this. Hey, I go to this. I'm definitely going to Skookstock. Awesome. That's gonna I went to Japan for. I wanted to do a thing, but I don't know if they'll let me do it.
Japan. So we had our meeting, and pretty much Japan 4 said, we don't know how our set list is going to go. We have an idea, but it's probably going to turn into just people coming up and joining the show. And I was like,
that's what I was hoping for.
That's why I want Japan 4 on the
I talked to Brett the day of the Apollo 88 show, and he was like, so Bill, you're going to come up on stage with me, and we're going to sing MCR? And I was like, let's fucking do it. But I want to dress up as Gerard Way from that era, from the Not Okay era, like with a wig and shit. But I'll having my glasses on. like I want to do that. I want to do it because I feel like that'd be so much fun.
We did cut some band set list time. So instead of like hour, we gave her 1:45, just because I didn't want Crowbot to go on at 12 to an already exhausted crowd, and then people leaving at 2. Because the cool thing about this show is, and this is why I always tell people too, like, if you're not coming to this because it's not in Pottsville, it sucks. I think you're missing out on something special here.
But also, you don't need to be.
Yeah, I think you're missing out on something special, because there's people from Maryland, Virginia, like New Jersey. Because like the New Jersey show, people are like, oh, it's $15 show. I can see Crowbot, but I could pay $25 to see him in their hometown, and it's kind of like, if you're a Crowbot fan and you want to see it in a hometown experience, That's the way to do it.
It's so
It's
weird.
different.
It's
I guarantee our show will be different than the show in New Jersey, Brooklyn, and the two in New York.
You know why? Because they're home.
And they'll probably walk like. I told this lady, and I was going to talk to Bishop, and I don't think he's going to care. But if there's a lady who's driving from Virginia or Maryland for this show, I guarantee by the time that show's over, she's going to meet the band. Like she drove that far to that. You know what I mean?
There's no meet and greets, right?
No,
it's just okay.
Because I feel like they're going to walk around, hang out, and they want anyway.
I don't believe in meet and greets.
Neither do I.
And that's why. I mean. I kind of do. Okay, I'm biased. Yeah. I love Bayside, so I'm definitely paying a meet and greet for them. Like, I have exceptions in my mind, but the whole thing is, like, bands that play and are genuine about their music, they'll come out and see you after. And Bayside's one of those bands. So you don't have to buy the meet and greet. But if you want to guarantee some shit, you know, you're basically just paying for merch. Yeah. Pretty much. And there's nothing wrong with that, because that's how bands make their money. Yeah. They make their money off of merch, sometimes the music. You know...
That's why I tell them too. Like, buy your tickets now, so you have more money the day of to go buy the albums or the merch or any bands.
People do not understand. Bands don't make money on tour.
No,
they make money off the merch on tour, but they don't make the money. Like
and sometimes they have to pay the money back for the merch.
Yeah, and it's shitty because it's not. I don't know. There's certain ways you could do it. You know, I know Handguns did the DIY thing. I don't know how that went. They're so genuine though. They're just all about music. They're all about fans. It was so funny, like, meeting them because they're from PA, so they have that just fuckery of, like, bullshit that you just, like, go in and they're like, hey, what's up, you? And, like, all this stuff. And, like, but they're all accepting, you know? And not accepting. I hate that word. They're all real and equal people, you know? And I think that's difficult to come by in musicians, in people in general. Like, there's so many times where I'm just like, you know, especially people my age, it frustrates me because, you know, there's people that stick up for the youth, you know, but I always tend to say, and I hate politics because no one has the same exact views of one party. Everyone has their own views. And that's why I don't believe in, like, a president figure. Like, I feel like it should just be a collective, and maybe that's wrong, maybe that's not right or something, but I don't think everything's wrong. I don't think anything's wrong because we don't know how we're supposed to live life. We're just going off of what we experience and what feels good in our mind, you know? And so for me, like, I didn't want to go into politics or religion, but, like, for me, it's like, why care what someone else does if it's not hurting anyone else, or if it's not bothering someone, or if it's not a serious problem to you, you know? I just like to be by myself, for myself, stay away from me. Pantera, right? Or something like that. Like, yeah, but it's
walk
just...
on home, boy.
Yeah, and it's... But that's the truth of it all, is like... And that's funny because irony is something weird happened between that band and, like, people in a public eye, and I was like, wow, that's weird. Yeah. But, no, like, the whole thing is, like, just... Why do you gotta pick on people? Why do you have to... If someone feels a certain way, like, if I grew up, I'm a man, you know, and I felt like I was a woman, why does that affect you? You know, why does that affect anyone else? That shouldn't bother anyone.
Now, the only thing I would say is, like, hey, if I mess up a pronoun, don't jump down my throat.
No, that's not...
Because I'm just as new to this as anyone else.
That's not okay. That's why I dislike religion. There's a lot of people who are religious that do the same thing, where they're like, oh, well, it's not God. Yeah. Like, it's the soul in you.
I'm not into the gay thing because my religion says that. Oh, but you're cool with every other sin that you're breaking throughout your daily life, or throughout your entire... That's the one you're latching onto? Okay, cool.
I think it's bullshit. I love who I love. I don't know if I'm straight. I don't know if I'm gay. I don't fucking care. Like, it's not my business to know what I am right now. I'm just trying to... I'm sorry if that offends anyone that isn't, like, my family or anything. Like, I'm not even sorry. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, it's not your life. Yeah. It's my life, and I'm just trying to do what I can.
It's none of your business what I'm into.
Yeah, right. And I don't know. It's just love yourself. You know, don't worry about what other people love or if they love you. That's how it should be.
No? We have to figure out?
No.
Oh. We are wrapping up though. So yeah, I didn't do this in the beginning because I don't know why, but if you like what you hear, or even if you don't like what you hear and you think we need to get better, you know how to help us? Make a donation.
Make a donation.
In the links below is our PayPal. Anything helps. I appreciate it. Also, hit that like and subscribe button. So we're close to 300. If we hit 1,000, then YouTube starts paying us, and then we don't have to cry for donations. But yeah, we're still trying to grow. We're having fun. We're trying to bring out local stuff in the area. All the links in the description is going to be everything that he talked about today and his friend stuff, and anything he wants out there we'll put in the description. And go check out Skookstock on Facebook. That's at Skookstock, or you can go to bigtickets.com and search Skookstock and come see a lot of really cool bands, and come talk to us because we'll both be there.
Yeah.
Because after today, you're officially a celebrity.
Am I? Yeah. Is that how that is?
You're officially a celebrity.
It's gonna be so weird.
And you're gonna see him more on things that weren't cool in high school.
I'm excited, but also like scared. Like I'm not scared, but I'm also like I don't want people to walk up to you know what I mean. I just don't want people to be like, oh,
here's a weird thing. So I don't think it was you, because if it was you, Austin would have said it was you. Austin Blackman.
Okay.
Austin went into GameStop with his Interviews Everyday hoodie on, when we first started. And he said 2 of the coworkers were talking to each other and pointing at his hoodie and yo, that's that local podcast. I don't know who the employees were.
I don't think that was me.
He would have known it was you.
Yeah, I can't remember it. I don't know if he remembers me.
Really?
Honestly, yeah. I'm not bashing him for not remembering me, because I looked way different back then. But yeah, no. And I only went over to his house a few times. He's a really cool dude, too. We played NHL. That's what we did.
Okay.
We would practice and then go to Austin's house, because Austin was the other musician and they were friends with him and stuff. And I was like, I'll just tag along if you want. I don't care.
Yeah.
That's how all my friendships are. I just kind of...
Through video games.
Yeah, games, just hanging out. That's what I wanted to say. Before this ends, what you should do, live stream board games. That would
live stream board games.
Yeah, I feel like that'd be entertaining. You might think that's weird now, but people will enjoy that shit. People will eat that.
What board
up.
game?
I don't know. Werewolf.
Do you have
Not
one?
Monopoly. I don't. Munchkin's a good one. I have some board games, but not a lot. I have this game called what was it? Boss Monster.
Okay.
And it's basically like a dungeon crawler. And it's kind of like an RPG game. You go through.
Will it fit on this table?
An 8. Yeah, it's only cards.
Okay.
And it has a little map, kind of. It's really cool. But maybe I'll bring it on and something, and we'll figure something out. But I don't know. I think that'd be really cool.
I do too.
A lot of people don't.
So we're always looking for different things to do for the topic of things that weren't cool in high school. Mm-hmm. So if there's an episode where we just play board games, the one episode of Banging Beers, we literally got drunk and played Cards Against Humanity.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so
I think I remember who was on
me, Sarah, Dave.
Yes,
I did. We started doing this.
Dave is actually my cousin.
Really?
Dave Martin. Yeah, he's my cousin. We
started doing this stupid shit the entire time. We'd read a card and it'd be like,
the young boy Seb.
Oh shit, that's on your mixer?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, I have sound effects.
That is awesome.
So we did that for the whole. So that every time we had a card, we'd read the card in that voice because we were drunk idiots.
That is amazing. See, so here's my thing with I'm sorry, we were gonna end this, but I just keep going on. But my thing with podcasts is if it's entertaining, it's entertaining. But I also informative. That's why I thought the Terrain podcast was so great, because it was the best mix.
Yeah.
Even though you were like, oh man, this episode, but I was just like, no, this is perfect.
Yeah, I liked having him on. I was just so embarrassed by Ben that episode.
I think Terrain loved that though. I think Terrain had an enjoyment.
I was so frustrated. Me and Ben had a very serious conversation after that episode.
I hope he doesn't feel too bad, because that was amazing.
Yeah. Don't let him hear that, because then he'll think it's okay to show up like that.
No,
again.
It's not okay, Ben. It just was funny to me.
Yeah.
I just thought it was really entertaining.
Because I was going to go somewhere after that episode, and I was like, now, because I can't send you out of my house drunk.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there was a lot.
I would love to be on a Bag and Beers podcast.
So soon you turn 21. When do you turn 21?
Hypothetically, now. Hypothetically, I am.
When do you turn 21?
June 1st.
So next year?
This year, yeah.
So you just turned 20.
Yeah, I just turned 20. I wanted to talk about the story.
Can we have your 21st birthday on Bang & Beers podcast?
That would be cool. I don't know what you would want to do, but I would be down.
We would just drink beers and talk.
Drink beer. Oh, maybe I can get a celebrity to come to.
A celebrity?
Well, not like a celebrity, but another a successful my keyway, my gateway into
you can bring Eddie back. He's famous now.
Yeah, damn. he's so weird with things. You know, I love Eddie so much, but I do have to say
he was on a wrestling podcast.
Was he?
Yeah.
How many times did he say I'll be there, but maybe not? But
he did it a couple times, but his what happened was his work got he had to stay at work.
I got you.
But he would definitely like I told Eddie whenever you're home, like I always tell people like dude, Wednesdays and Thursdays I always have a seat open. Thursdays maybe not so much now because I have now it's gonna be Dave, Andy, Brian, and then Austin when he's not home from school. So we have a full table now for Tornado Tag. But things that weren't cool in high school, it's only usually me, Ben, and Andy. And then if Sarah, she can make it.
I love that podcast, but I feel like I would be just like the odd man out because I'm the youngest, and I still know like about some of that stuff.
No, you.
So
it's
like
amazing.
it's like, and I've seen Andy before. I'd never like properly like I met him when I was way younger because he knows like my family on my dad's side and stuff. For some, I don't know how that happened, but just I guess going to wrestling things like they talk and stuff. And that was when I was way younger.
You'd be a good fit for that show.
That would be fun.
I think come this Thursday. It's there. Or Wednesday.
Wednesday?
Yep. Wednesday.
Yeah.
We started at 8:30.
I'm not working this week, so that'd be fun.
Yeah.
I need to get a license. Like that's my biggest downfall is I can't drive. Yet.
Dave comes from. Oh, he comes from Cressona.
Yeah.
So I've like Dave Martin. You can just like message like, hey, I want to be on the show tonight.
He was the first reason that I kind of wanted to be on this. Because, me and Dave have a weird relationship. Like when we were, same thing with Eddie. Like when I was younger, we didn't get along very well. But now like I'm older and I guess I'm just easier to talk to. Or the way that I talk is like, since I'm just an adult, I don't know, I'm barely an adult.
You're getting there.
Yeah, since I'm just there, it's like... It's so much easier, and he was like, dude, you should go on Bangin' Beers, or not Bangin' Beers, he would never refer me to go on Bangin' Beers. He's like, you should go on the podcast, like interviews with everyday people, I do the Bangin' Beers thing, that's what he said.
Yeah.
And I think you would have a great time, because you're doing the music thing now, and I was like, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, because I don't feel like I'm that interesting, but a lot of the stuff that happens to me is like, yeah, it's my life, but a lot of other people don't get that.
Yeah.
Or aren't lucky enough to get that. And
I think the huge reason why I started this too is the more people get to know you as a person and get to know you as your craft, but they learn about you, they're going to support you more. Like, if you go to watch a band, you're like, oh, cool, I really like this band. And then you, like get to know the band, and you're like, their guy's a fucking dickhead.
That and they're normal people.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
This guy's a prick. And, like, I might not like this band as much anymore. Or you get to know them, like, holy shit, I can relate even more with this guy now.
I've been so... I don't want to say blessed. Because people take that term, and they're like, well, you're not, religious.
Fortunate.
But, like, I've been fortunate enough... And I'm very humble about everything. Like, I don't think I'm a good musician, but I've been able to meet people that I look up to. I got a guitar lesson from one of my favorite musicians, who is the guitarist of Bayside, Jack O'Shea. Shout out to you if you see this somehow. I love you, man. Thank you for everything that you taught me, and it was very influential. And I also got guitar lessons from this guy Brian that my mom and stepdad know. The only reason I stopped actually like taking the lessons wasn't because of him or anything. It was just like the way that I've always learned is by ear, by myself. I could read tabs,
but always take advice.
Yeah,
like same with the podcast. Like, dude, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I always joke around like, oh, these are my shitty days at the podcast. Hopefully, I'll get good at one time. But yeah, man, always be open-minded to learn.
No, I love that. There was a dude that commented on the one cover I did, the George Harrison one, not that long ago, the Beatles one, and he was saying, like, it wasn't negative, but basically he was saying he didn't like it, but he was trying to find things that he didn't like about it. He just didn't like the way I did it, you know? But he was just like, you just gotta keep practicing. One day I could see you on like American Idol, and I was like, okay, now your opinion doesn't. Now it's not there. That's not what I want to do. That's not. And I was just like, I don't know. Taking negativity, turning it into positivity is like the best thing that you could do. And I really want to hit the 3-hour mark. I don't know. I know you don't. I just want to do it because that's like all my favorite episodes.
Are the 3-hour marks?
Yeah, because you got Timmy, you got Terrain.
Courtney,
yeah.
Courtney said you seen her in pasties.
Yeah, that was funny. We went to I don't know if did she tell the story? The whole story.
We went to the festival. She's like, it was hot, and I just put pasties on.
There's a lady, there's a lady there.
And she's like, well, little Billy's here, I'm in pasties, I don't care.
That was my 18th birthday party, and we spent
Courtney
an
to death.
entire weekend in Ohio at a punk rock festival. And my mom was like, be careful out there. If you do anything, don't tell me. I don't want to know. And I was like, okay, hypothetically, nothing will happen.
Mom gave me the okay to do shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Just as long as I don't tell her.
Yeah, as long as I don't get in trouble, That's how it's always been, though. Like, she's always been a very
First time I got
big
drunk,
supporter.
I was underage at a NASCAR race.
Jeez,
Yeah,
that's not good in public.
My dad was, I was like 18 years old. My dad's like, I'll take you to an infield race at Pocono as soon as you turn 18, because I guess I found out that like Pocono's infield is like debauchery central, like just boobs everywhere. Not the ones you want to see. It's NASCAR boobs, if that makes sense.
Yeah, right turn.
Yeah, like just some big old flapjacks.
Oh my God.
And it's just like drugs and booze and like, so I was just like, all right. So we pull in, and my dad's like, yo, get on top of the van and look around the track and see everything. And I was like, cool. And I got on top of the van, and I looked around, and I looked over like 2 cars next to me, and I was like, why are everyone crowded around this car screaming? And I was like, oh, but like not like cheering and like, yeah.
No, they're like
cheering. So I looked over, and this girl is blowing the dude in the driver's seat with everyone cheering her on.
Oh, God.
And I was like, I went, Dad. And he's like, welcome to Pocono, don't tell your mother.
It's cool, but not cool at the same.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing there.
Yeah.
There's a weird line there. I'd rather have my phone in front of me than not like people.
So I was wearing. I wasn't even a Dale Jr. fan at the time, but I was wearing a Dale Jr. beanie because my favorite driver retired, and I was trying to find out who I was going to like.
Yeah.
And my dad, it was kind of cold. My dad's like, here, just wear the beanie. And I was like walking around. And I was like, I'm going to go for a walk. He goes, don't get in trouble. I was like, whatever. So I went for a walk, and then people were like, you like Dale Jr.? Get over here, boy. And I was like, all right. And they're like, here, have a beer with us. And I'm like, that's good. All right. So I slammed my beer, and they're like,
oh my God,
you like Dale Jr.? You got the hat on. Have another beer. And I drank the beer. I was like, I got to get going.
I like the part where he drives. That's my favorite part.
And then I walk like 3 more spots down, and they're like, look at this guy with the Dale Jr. beanie, just walking around. Like, yeah, my first time. I was like, it's my first time in the infield. I'm like, you need a fucking beer. And like, they're like pouring me shots like Jack, and I'm hammering shots Jack. I'm drinking booze. I get fucking hammered, and I walk back to my dad, and he's like, are you fucking drunk? I'm like, I am smoked. He goes, how? I was like, they just
Dale Jr.
I said, every Dale Jr. fan in this place gave me a free beer and a shot. And he's like, don't fucking leave here.
Don't leave me. You have to stay here now. You're not in trouble, but they are. They are in trouble.
So I just thought of a fun way that we can do this last 10 minutes.
Okay.
All right. So you've watched a lot of interviews.
Yeah.
I want you to turn the tables on me now.
Oh.
Ask some questions. What like?
Yeah. That's you shouldn't have done that. Okay. No, like, what? Like growing up, what was like your main focus, pretty much, in life? As in, like, so for me, like, I threw away relationships and like family. Not like fucking did it again. Not family, but like, I didn't throw it away. I just kind of focused more on music.
Yeah. So I did. Like I did whatever it took to fit in. Like I said, I always looked for acceptance.
So you were more for the relationship type of thing.
Yeah. So I was more like, so then I was like, always loved music.
Yeah.
Like my dad was a DJ. My music was always in my family. I always liked to sing, but I don't have a good singing voice.
Why do you think that,
right,
dude?
I would if I could be like a singer, I could retain lyrics so much.
What's your go-to song?
I don't even know because I don't.
That's bullshit.
I have
that's
a lot.
So bullshit.
Like I just know. Like,
don't go chasing.
Sure, I know the words of that. Yeah,
so love that.
So like I said, and my spectrum is very broad, like from pop to rock to Frank Sinatra to everything.
You listen to Biggie at all?
Yes.
Biggie was my shit.
Yeah.
I have the Ready to Die album. I'm sorry, I love that album.
Suicidal Thoughts is my jam.
Man.
But anyway, but like to tell people like, oh, I want to sing in high school, like that's just another thing I'm gonna get picked on for or beat up for.
Really?
I always
In this area,
Monty City,
dude, Pottsville, the choir was like the go-to.
No,
like
if
like
you were in Monty City and you didn't play sports, like they didn't give a shit about you. You were a nerd.
Pottsville was like, sports, and then nerds were still like slightly appreciated.
Well, there's also like a.
There's like a time frame, there is.
That's why I joke around saying not cool in high school. Yeah. Like if I went to school and told people I was a wrestling fan and the wrong person heard it, like, you watch fucking dudes rolling around with other dudes, what the fuck's wrong with you? Or like, if I went and been like, yo, bro, I've been just playing Pokemon, or like, fucking Pokemon, what are you, fucking 8, bro? Like, you know what I mean? Like, everyone was just always trying to act older than they were.
So stupid.
Like, especially middle school, because everyone in middle school, like 7th and 8th grade, wanted to be like a high school kid by that time, and they were like, so you didn't really. So I always played sports. I never played football. I played soccer, which got me a lot of shit because I played soccer for a different school.
That's always bad.
And then
That's
I tried to play, because our school didn't provide soccer.
Yeah.
So I always got called like fruity tooty soccer player and got picked on really bad for that.
I would have expected like traitor. Like that stuff happens.
I wasn't competing against my school.
That's true.
So then I was like, my dad's like, I'm going to sign you up for basketball. And I was like, don't do that. And he's like, why? He goes, dude, you could run. You're fast. Like, if you get a breakaway, no one's... Because I was fast as shit. Like, I may be fat now, but I was in really good shape back then. I was really fast and, like, scrawny. But anyway. Joined basketball. I was horrible at it. I was terrible at it. But I liked it. I enjoyed playing it. So I just kept playing and playing and playing. And I'd go to courts, and they're like, yo, you're not good enough. Go play at the other court. And I have to go to the other court.
Damn.
So then... just always focus on sports and fitting in and just trying to do whatever I could. And then like high school came, and so 8th grade year I went from Monte area to North Schuylkill, and in that time frame is when I like hit puberty. Like I was a late bloomer, so I was like 110 pounds, big glasses, teeth. I didn't have the braces yet. I was everything you didn't. I had a bowl haircut. I didn't have the cool clothes. I just got fucked with. And girls didn't talk to me. I got picked on by everybody. Go to North Schuylkill, and I went there with a chip on my shoulder, and I was like, yo, like, but that North Schuylkill was a lot different. Like, they would fight in the hallways. They didn't give a fuck. Like, it was crazy. Because, like, Monte area, like, I'll fight you after school. Because it was nothing, because everyone walked home after school for the most part. Like, North Schuylkill, you have a kid from Girardville and a kid from North Schuylkill, there's no way to fight after school because they both get on 2 different buses to go to different towns.
Yeah.
They settle it in the basement.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is some, like...
This
it was
like Fight Club shit.
It was like going to prison. Like, it kind of toughened me up a little bit going to North Schuylkill. So... And the teachers there didn't play no shit either, because they were like, fuck, like, I seen teachers fist fight to students, like they didn't fuck around. So I went to North Schuylkill for a little bit, and at that time I peaked, got a little taller, the braces came off, I didn't need glasses no more, I decided styling my hair a little differently, you know what I mean, and then I came back to Monte area, and I was just like, because my house burned down, so I went back to Monte area, and I was like, I'm here, I can't play soccer no more, I'm fucking pissed, I'm not taking shit from nobody, and I just went there and I just stayed quiet.
And that's when the spark...
Yeah,
pretty much.
And I just didn't talk to anybody except like 1 or 2 people. And then I had people come up to me and they're like, yo, like, you're the new guy, who are you? And I was like, what? And they're like, oh, like, sign my yearbook. And because I came like towards like the middle to the end of school. And and there was girls that, like, these girls I had crushes on, but I could never say nothing because I was the fucking, like, they called me like the loser kid or ugly or anything like that. So I signed everyone's yearbook, either the loser kid or ugly kid.
Nah, dude, mine was Midget Man.
Midget Man?
Yeah, not even spelled properly. And my friend Tim, who he passed away recently, and it's so weird how life works. He was amazing human being, and he wrote, like, he would write books. He wanted to be an author, and so like that really inspired me.
Do you have any of his writings?
I do not know.
It'd be cool if you make a song out of something he wrote.
Yeah, he was just like a beautiful person. Like, he was a big dude. He was really big and he was really tall, and so when
you guys were like twins.
No,
the movie Twins.
We were the opposite. Like I was like the Danny DeVito. He was like the Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I was like, I loved it. But yeah, no, it was. We had like this really cool friendship. We would fight every now and then. So it's sadly, like, we didn't end on the best of terms, but we didn't end on the worst of terms, because I never stay mad at people. Like, I just don't have the. It's
too much. It's too much of a burden to hold on to that energy.
Yeah, but he was an amazing person, and so we were in middle school one day. And I was like sitting there, and this was like our first time signing yearbooks. That, like, it made sense to sign yearbooks, like, so you knew people or who was in your class or whatever. And I was like, I don't know what to sign. I want an AKA. I want like a nickname. I want to be a superhero. And he was like, why don't you be Midget Man? And I'm like, what is that? And he's like, you're really short, and that's your superpower, or something like that. And I was like, all right, sounds great. So here I am. I'm putting it down, and I'm like, MIJITMAN, and I wrote it in pen. He's like, that's not how you spell it, but I think this could work. I think this could be something.
Yeah.
You know, and he was just great. He was just a really funny dude. Mm-hmm. He was a loud dude at times, you know, but he was amazing. And I miss him. But he moved away before anything happened. So, like, I found out about what happened, and I was just like, man, that's crazy how life could do this. And it was such a weird, rippling experience. It was like the butterfly effect.
Yeah, you don't know. Like, you're never promised tomorrow.
Well, yeah. And so the way that it happened like, honestly, it's just how my life has been. And I'm not saying it to take away from anything. Like, in my life, a great thing will happen, and then right after, just a really shitty thing. So, how I was saying, like, I got a guitar lesson from one of my favorite guitarists. The next day, I found out he passed away. Like, and it just kind of brought me back down to earth. And I think that's also another reason I'm so humble, is because not everything's forever. Not everything is, you know, what...
So what you so when that barrier comes up, this is just me just kind of being weird, but like, that's the universe, like, saying, okay, Billy, this is your next test. We gave you something that meant a lot, and now we're going to put a burden in front of you to see how you go through it. Are you going to crumble? Are you going to overrise?
Yeah.
So you can take that situation as like, hey, this guy who's my favorite guitarist gave me a lesson.
Yeah.
I will use that lesson for the rest of my life. Like, you lost your friend. Take that relationship and make him, if you know, I don't know spiritually what you believe, if he's still watching, but make his name proud.
Yeah. What happened was, I was just, like, so upset the next day, and I didn't know how to cope with it, because it was like, you know, we didn't talk all the time anymore, but in middle school, like, he was my like, I had, like, 4 or 3 best friends. Like, that's how I am. Like, I have, like, a small group, and those are, like, my key people, and he was, like, the one that I hung out with sometimes. He was, like, not number 2, but, like, he was the one that I would hang out with when my bestest, who I grew up with, wasn't there, you know, or even we just all hang out together.
Yeah.
But what had happened was I just sat there, and I grabbed my guitar, and, like, I started playing a progression, and then I was like, I'm just gonna record it. Like, fuck it. Like, it doesn't matter. And I just sung whatever came to me, and I was crying, but I was still, like, putting it out there in the world. And, like, I think what I said was, is like, last night I had the best night ever, and then today I am having one of the worst, or one of the hardest days. And so I just kind of was like, I needed some type of catharticism, something to, like, release this pressure behind me, because it also makes me feel like I should talk more to the people that I don't talk to. But you're not always thinking about that, you know.
Not even the people you don't talk to, like, don't be afraid to make that connection. Like, one of the biggest things, like, even with Courtney, we talked about, like, we were Facebook friends, and we watched what each other did, and then we'd see each other in public and not say a word. Like, fuck it, go talk to that person. You know what I mean? Like, because Courtney, like, literally, like, that was, I'm not ranking my interviews, but that was one of my favorites. Like,
she's so weird.
Yeah, she's
that's
weird.
The way,
but it was
that's the best way to put it.
I joked her. I said that interview to me was like a really good first date. Like, we just vibed. Like, it was a good, like, we learned a lot about each other's personality. Like, she, like, I like her. Like, she's an amazing person. Like, I really like her as a person.
I love the podcast where it just kind of keeps going. I hope that's how this one was. But, like, where it just keeps moving. You know, I don't like when it stops.
I relate a lot to you.
Yeah.
I really do.
know. I feel it. Like, the whole Big Brother thing, you know, and hypothetically, I don't know, maybe we want to cut it out, but, like, I have experienced the marijuanas, maybe. Maybe bleep it out. I don't know. But... And it just was something that, like, when you said it on your podcast, I was, like, thinking about it, and I was like, it didn't put me in that I'm not saying it doesn't, because I don't do it. And the reason I don't do it is because I have to set an example for my brother. You know, I have to step up, and, like, I had my opportunity to fuck up, but I technically didn't. You know, I always feel like I never got to, like, be a kid, you know, but that's just something in my brain that's like, oh, you never got to be a kid, so this gives you, like, one pass to fuck up or something like that.
I feel like I didn't have a lot of opportunity the same way, but that was my choice because I wanted to change who I was for my brother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's how I am. And it doesn't make me like, I don't feel bad for it. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make me feel like, well, that means that I could do this and be like, well, I didn't have like a childhood or something. Like, it's just, I don't know. I want my brother to grow up way better than I did, and I grew up great.
I mean, my brother right now is
he's a seaman, right?
He's a seaman. Yeah, he's a seaman level 2, but he's a corpsman in the Navy.
That's awesome.
So he's trying to do the right thing, I guess, to what he feels for the country, and something I would have.
I could never do that.
Yeah.
I don't have, I love people. I would do anything for people, but there are people that I don't know where it's like, not that I wouldn't fight for anyone. I would always fight for someone who doesn't have a fight.
I wouldn't. This is not me hating our military or hating our country, but I wouldn't take up a gun and go over to another country and shoot somebody.
That's not fucking. That's inciting violence. That's like.
Now, if that country decided they were going to land on the shores of New York
City,
yeah, I'm gonna get a gun. I don't even have to have me sign up. Just point me where I need to go, and to make our country a better place.
Yeah, and that's. Like, the problem with a lot of people, it's like you're either militant or you're not. And I don't think that's true. I worked with a guy whose family was very militant, and him talking to me, like, he didn't push that on me.
Yeah.
He was like, dude, don't do it. Like, don't do it. You're not going to do it unless that's something you have inside of you that you want to. And I was like, that makes so much sense. And, like, and it scares me today because there's many opportunities where, like, shit can just go upside down, but that's not just because of this one president, and I feel like
it would have been the same way if, like, wait till you see if this next election comes and for some crazy reason the Democrat wins this time. All the same people that say you need to respect the president and not bash him are going to be the same ones that are going to hate this Democratic president and say they're the biggest piece of shit and they're ruining the country. So no matter who's in office, the other side's going to cry about it. Then the other side's going to rub it in the other person's face.
It's so stupid, too, because I'm like...
And we're never going to grow as a nation because of it.
Here I am at 18 years old sitting in my room being like... Because that's the election... maybe I was like 17. And I'm just like, this doesn't even matter. And people are like, voting does matter, and I know Terrain's big on it, like, voting matters, but, like, to me, it's like, the way that I see politics is, like, you have separations. You're just separating. You're just making categories.
And you're literally just telling everybody what they want to hear for your vote, and then when you get in, you're probably not going to do it anyway.
Yeah, and if I was president... Listen, I don't think I could fix everything, but I think I could definitely fix the things that are necessary for my generation.
Yeah.
And that's how it is for anyone. Like, you could fix the things for your generation in your eyes or whatever, and it's in your mindset is where you're going to think. And if you're at a depressed time, maybe you'll go for the one that's like the more militant one because you're like, fuck people.
Yeah.
I want to fight people, you know, and it's like, I don't like the fact that we have one president. I think it should be multiple people. That's like the religion thing. Like, I think it's more likely that Greek gods are a thing. Like a god of thunder, a god of lightning, a god of life, or whatever. Like, that shit makes sense to me. Because I don't think one thing could just take care of millions. And a lot of people are so... It's closed-mindedness, and I'm open to literally anything. I mean, I say I'm not judgmental, but, like, the reason that I laugh a lot is that's, like, my mechanism. I'll laugh at sad things. I laugh when bad things happen. I just laugh. I don't know why. I probably seem like a psychopath.
Yeah.
Like, but that's just how I am, and it's not... I don't know. I just feel like we separate more than we should collaborate, and I think that this is a good like platform for it, and especially what me and Jared do, like just the streaming thing. And people are like, well, you're playing video games, you're never gonna make money. I did. That was the one thing where my stepdad was like, you're not gonna make money. I think even my dad at some point was like, you're not gonna make money, it's weird, they're like the same in some way, but they just not agree with each other 100%. And I'm like, I feel like if you guys actually talked or something.
I'll tell you what. Since I got one donation so far, for like $45, which I'm super grateful for, and it's sitting in a shelf.
Damn.
Yeah, which is not a bad donation.
Yeah.
But I've had people come on the show like 3D by Nick, the guy who did the 3D printing.
That's awesome.
He's a
Yeah,
He
I was
did
gonna
it.
bring you a gift. I just didn't know what to bring you.
Don't worry
I was
about
gonna, I'm gonna bring it. If I come to the not cool in high school one, I'm gonna bring it. I just
Don't
need to
spoil it.
decide. I'm not gonna spoil
Right.
it.
But Nick came on and he plugged his business and his thing, and he's already made enough money from people who contacted him from the show
That's awesome.
that he's now buying another printer to make bigger projects.
Yeah,
Like Nikolai, he's part of the project. He went on and he's doing like really cool things in theater and really cool things with magazines and stuff. Like, so there's been people who came on here and actually had a positive influence with stuff.
and keep moving forward.
Yeah,
and it's like
listen, if I don't make a dime but other people do, then I'm cool with that.
you're just, you're not the middleman. You're not the messenger. You're just like you're the table.
I'm the table.
Yeah, you're the table
bringing it
that
to the
the
light.
items are coming on.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And I think that's the best way to be about it. And I don't mean that in a bad way towards you.
So
That's
was
like
we'll end on this. Who was your favorite interview so far? Like, give me your Mount Rushmore episodes.
Mount Rushmore of episodes.
So you get 4.
Dave, Cheesy's friend. Dave,
Oh.
well, I guess that wasn't an interview, but when he did the Banging Beers
that was
thing.
a lot of fun.
That was awesome. He's a really cool dude.
He's going to be at Skookfest.
He's-
Skookstock. I just misnamed my own show. Skookstock. He'll be there doing photography.
Can't wait for Skookfest too.
Yeah.
That's going to be 2012, 2020, 2012.
2020.
Yeah. So the Banging Beers with Dave was really cool. I don't want to say all people that I know because that's just not. But definitely, my grandfather, and my uncle, because I didn't expect them to say anything about me, but I really appreciated that too. And there's been so many episodes where I like tune in and you're like, yeah, and then like little Billy or little Eddie, and I'm like, oh my god, that's so much. I love that. But
was there any interviews that you got anything out of, like inspired you or made you
Tim.
look at a different way, look at something in a different light?
Definitely Tim's, because he is that guy all the time. You know what I mean? And he is religious, but he has like his own outlooks.
We didn't dive into towards the end there where he's at now. I think he's still very spiritual, and I still think he believes in God.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he and Jesus. But I think he has a different outlook on.
He really, the way that you guys talked about religion, I really love, because
They're two different aspects and two different beliefs, but we still want the same things.
Yeah, he's probably my number one.
I like that.
As much as I like Terrains, he's probably my number one.
He's back on.
Yeah. I love it.
He was on Not Cool.
He was on Not Cool in high school,
and we're going to do an interview with him and his mom.
That's awesome. I saw that post today, but I'm
really looking forward to that one.
He's a really great dude, and I love the way that you guys talked about religion, because it put it in a sense that like a lot of people feel like scared that they don't know what they believe in or anything like that, and I'm at the sense where I'm just like, you don't have to believe in anything as long as you believe in yourself. Like I believe in like karma. So I believe in if you do something genuine, you're getting something genuine back. But that doesn't always happen.
It takes time.
It doesn't always happen.
It takes time.
Yeah, it doesn't always happen. But and that's why I was skeptical. I said that I was skeptical about you because we've seen it in town before, where people come up and they're like, "Yeah, I want to just bring light to the music," and then they're just getting paid.
Yeah,
they're just
I haven't made a dime yet.
Yeah, and I really genuinely appreciate that, because that means a lot to musicians and stuff. And so that whatever you do works around here, then just do it.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, "Oh, you're going to be famous one day." I was like, if it happens, it happens. But I'm not. I mean, yes, if someone from not this area listens to this podcast and they enjoy it, awesome. But this is, I'm making this for a local crowd. If somebody who's not locally this inspires them and they want to go and do more, then awesome. I'm all about that too. Or even if you come to the area, you're like, man, I heard a lot of cool things. I'd love to come see something, or go see that band that I seen the interview on. Like 100%, let's work. But I'm more catered towards the local vibe. Like,
I think it's good too, because there's a lot of good around here that's outshadowed by like everything else.
Yeah, it's very easy. Like how everyone's talking about now with the Yingling 190th, where someone shot at somebody, and then what I mean. Yeah,
which was weird because it was right there, and that was like a courthouse or something like that, and at the courthouse or something in that area, and it's not that far from each other. How do you have all these people having fun together and one person's just like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
And that's what people are talking about. Like, oh, that happened on this day. Way to go, Schuylkill County. How about they put almost 15,000 people in downtown Pottsville, bonded over some music. Everyone had a great time supporting the downtown Pottsville. I went to the Historical Society and took a tour. Awesome experience there. I went to Walk of Art. There was stuff I did in that town that day that I didn't even know existed.
There's so much in Pottsville.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff.
But people are afraid. Like, I'm afraid. I get afraid sometimes, but it's just, I don't know. You're always going to be afraid.
Yeah.
Until you step out and do stuff. Like, I'm always afraid to go to a friend's house. Like, I don't know why. I just get scared. I'm just like, it's anxiety. That's what it is. I'm like, I leave my house. I'm like SpongeBob in that episode with the Chip and the Penny and the hanky. Yeah. And Sandy's outside getting torn up by a man in a gorilla suit. And I'm just like, I have my penny. Yeah. Like, it's just, or nickel or something.
Yeah, just give it a shot. Like, there's a lot of fun stuff out there.
Yeah, you really do have to step out, and you're going to be in shitty situations, but you're just going to have to power through. I'm 20, and so if anything that I've experienced or done or gone through, in the quick amount of time that I have, like, I've experienced so much, and maybe it's overlooked just because of my age, but that's why I think I may relate to you or relate to my uncle's friends, and because we all grew up together, and I was still a part of that.
I don't look at somebody for their age and think, this person can offer me nothing because they're younger than me. And I think that's a mentality that a lot of people, as they get older, they lose. You can learn something from anybody, no matter the age. You can learn somebody from no matter age, race, sexual orientation, religious belief. You can always learn something. Yeah. And if you don't close your mind to it, you're not going to get anywhere. Yeah. But that's where we're going to wrap it up here. So let's get Interviews Everyday Tea People with Billy Trey. Thank you guys so much. Like I said, check everything out in the descriptions below, and we'll see you next time. Yeah. And we'll see him possibly this Thursday.
I hope my family doesn't care that curse. I mean, I don't think they will. They're very supportive.
All right. We'll just end on this. Fuck.
Fuck. That's awesome. Oh, man.
I need to use the bathroom quick.
That was so much fun.